Yay! All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We missed you over January, but we have a fabulous new set of things to be bringing you. A whole new story, a whole new system, whole new characters. As you can tell, we've got a whole new look happening all across. Elle has redesigned a bunch of things. Before we get into our game, we're going to do a few housekeeping things, and then we'll introduce you to our new characters. So the first thing that I want to just let you guys know real quick is we are not using the D&D system anymore. So the way the points are set up in StreamYard, you're not going to want to use your points to impact this particular episode and probably not the next episode. We're actually kind of wanting to figure out where we're wanting to get into the groove of how this game works for our group. We will change the point system so you can impact the play again. We just need to adjust it to the new play. And I think that's actually all I had in mind for announcements. We're really excited to be here, and I'm super excited to get into this game. But Elle, on this side of me, has some announcements about merch and a few other things. So what is up in the world of Elle?
Oh my God, so many things. It's been a month and I feel like I haven't talked to anyone. Okay, so what's really cool is we do still have our store. I do want to let everybody know that we are going to be moving the store. So if there is anything you love, any of the old Prose stuff, any Heroes of the Realm, Twilight's Dawn, that kind of cool stuff, you're going to want to get it before we move the shop, which is probably happening in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So just know you've got a little bit of time, but if there's something you love, you should get it now because I don't know what's moving to the new store. If you're very excited about this new exciting project, we do have some merch already in there for this one. We have a t-shirt and some stickers with our new green logo, which I'm like pointing the wrong direction, I think.
Hold on. I think I have the sticker. I can pop it up above.
Okay. It's so exciting, guys. I'm really excited. If you guys are excited about that and you want to see some of our new projects too, that's our beautiful thing. I keep pointing the wrong direction, even though I can't really see it.
Yeah, over at Elle. Yeah.
I'm like over here. But if you're really excited about it, you guys can get some merch there. But just know that when the new shop opens, we're going to have tons of really cool Uncanny Ink stuff, which is what we're calling this little project. If you are curious about what's happening with Elle, she opened a shop today, which you can find in a little pink button in our About Us page. If you want to check it out, it's where I'm going to have all my little projects. And then eventually Chloe and I are going to have a bunch of little projects too. So just keep an eye on it. We got lots of new stuff coming. I think that is everything, right? I mean, we did merch. We talked points.
I think so. If you are watching us on a different platform, so not StreamYard, not Twitch.
Not Twitch.
You're going to want to come find us on Twitch. We're at Twitch.
Twitch.tv/UncannyProse.
Yep. And you can find all our stores.
Prose with an E.
Prose with an E. Thank you.
Play on words, a little innuendo.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Dan,
all me, I think.
what do you got going on?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't have a lot going on. A thing here, a thing there, an Ombligo del Diablo. What's Ombligo del Diablo, you ask? Well, that just happens to be the rootinest, tootinest, shootinest podcast this side of the Mississippi.
It's a Western now?
Well,
It
technically
was
it's kind of
always
always been a Western, but also it's kind of not. It is a...
I concur, Dan. It's always been a Western. Lean into it.
Oh my God. And you can go click on Dan's name and it'll take you straight there. I
What?
set it
I
up
didn't
so
even
he doesn't
know.
have to type it anymore.
Yep. No, we're all ready. We've
Okay,
got links
don't
to
even...
everybody's stuff right there.
Don't even listen to me try and spell it anymore, because I just won't. But yeah, it is a Mage, the Ascension 5th edition podcast. If you are the sort of person who goes, wait, Dan, stop your nonsense right now. That's not a thing that exists. You're the sort of person who should be listening to Ombligo del Diablo. It is a cool place for cool people who do magic. Some would say the most magic. They might be wrong, but why don't you listen for yourself and find out? I'm going to do it anyway. OMBLIGO space DEL space DIBLO. Boom, got him.
Backing you up, buddy.
Bill, do you got anything going? I know you've had some things brewing for a while.
Yes, I'm actually launching a company here. It's going to be producing D&D supplements. I'm waiting on artists right now for it's so soon. And apparently they're beavers trying to take down my house, but
I hope they don't
The beavers
succeed in
followed
that.
us from Zyathe. They're like, let us in.
That is
You
so
kept
cool.
that so secret. Good job.
I am
I'd be like,
so
guys, I'm
excited
doing
to
this.
promote the hell out of that.
if otpgames.com, the website's still in flux. It says it's dangerous, but it's not. You can go onto the website. It's just there's not a lot on there yet, and it's the website's still in work and projects. It's going to be a little while, but you can say you got there first and all that.
That is so cool.
We will add links to Will's stuff as soon as we get them. That is super exciting. I'm very excited. Let's see. I think that's all in terms of announcements. Unless anybody, oh no, I do have one. There will be a round of Read Watch Vent this month. It's going to be the last Thursday of the month, and we are doing Ready Player One. So if you're wanting to read and watch that and then discuss it, we'll be streaming here. Usually we do Thursday nights around 8 o'clock. Occasionally, because the other ladies are working actresses, we do a lunchtime discussion. So keep your eye out. But that's about it. All right. I think that is our housekeeping things. For those of you who just popped in, I will reiterate the thing about points. Welcome back, by the way, and welcome in if this is your first time in. You will be seeing stream elements popping up saying that you can do things to impact the gameplay. That really only works when we're using D&D rules, which we are not tonight. We have switched over to a different game system entirely. So those will be available. You will be able to use your points. We just have to rework it. And we're going to take a couple episodes to figure out the best way to do that in this new system.
So don't waste your points. Save them because they're
Hoard
cool
them.
things.
Hoard them.
I think that's about it. So without further ado, our fabulous DM has spent hours creating this amazing episode for you guys out of his brain, based off of
From the brain
characters
juice.
that he's been developing for novels and all sorts of cool things. So DM, would you like to introduce everybody and sort of orient to what the heck we are getting into?
Absolutely. Excellent segue. I appreciate you shouting out my other creative projects. So as you've heard, including Will's bombshell about starting a company that does supplements, we have an extremely creative group of people here who have had a ton of fun role-playing, playing, improvising for you guys for the better part of 2 years. And when we had to decide how we were going to change directions a month ago, and I took sort of the showrunner role in organizing something to get us off the ground. The thing that I wanted to do the most was come up with something to tap into the extreme degree of creative talent and enthusiasm of this crowd of people, of the friends and contacts and network of this crowd of people, of our audience. That's you. And I'm so excited for how it's going because tonight, Uncanny Incorporated and the Uncanny Pros are excited to introduce you to season 1 of Wealdport, our experiment with long-form cinematic storytelling, structured like and inspired by the beloved episodic modern fantasy shows that occupy such a critical position in our pop culture, like Supernatural, Buffy, Grimm, Reaper, Fringe, Preacher. I can go on and on and on. Sleepy Hollow, Teen Wolf, all that stuff. This is a crew that has had a ton of fun creating and role-playing together this entire time since we kind of unified as a group. And I want to tell you that the creativity on display this past month in building Wealdport, from the city to the characters to the bones of this great story, is something that I couldn't be more thrilled for an audience to see. It's gone better than I could have possibly hoped. I'm so psyched to finally be on pilot part 1 night. Our focus is on storytelling, but our medium, as you know, if you've been watching us for a little while, and as I'm introducing you to all new viewers now, our medium is tabletop role-playing games. And the game we've selected to support this show, to kind of make up the skeleton, the structure, the conflict engine, as you will, is Monster of the Week, a brilliant, eminently accessible system from Evil Hat Productions. That said, expect plenty of homebrew rules, unexpected powers, delayed payoffs to consequential actions, and any manner of other little tweaks and changes to facilitate our goals with this story. If you're familiar with Monsters of the Week, you might see moves, archetypes, roles, and mechanics that you don't recognize, that maybe you don't even think works. And that's okay. If you know us from our Dungeons & Dragons play, you know that a prominent goal of ours when we were playing Red Star Rising by the incredible Gooey Cube was to show off through very, very dedicated play and strict adherence to the rules, the mechanical brilliance and depth of Gooey Cube's campaign, and to show off the dramatic dozens of hours of work that go into every quest, every character, every map, every adventure that we went on. There's so much that Gooey Cube does well associated with that gameplay system that fidelity to it was our best way of demonstrating just how awesome that was and how accessible it made dungeon mastering, which is, as anyone who's done it knows, a really, really hard thing to do. And as I have learned, even kind of rolling into this role. The Red Star Rising campaign, we hope to return to that someday. It's tons of fun. We are doing something a little different with this one, though. Wealdport is entirely original content, dreamt up by yours truly, but also by the pros. And when mechanics and interesting storytelling conflict, the rule is that the narrative is going to win every time. So we'll be telling this story in 2 formats for now. Our weekly Tuesday episodes will be just that, the latest episode in an unfolding saga that will be told over many seasons and arcs. I am the showrunner of season 1. I will be keeping, or being the keeper for, the majority, but not all, of the sessions for this season. In future seasons, somebody else might take that role from me. We don't know. We'll get there when we get there. This first season is expected to occupy much of 2022. And this is the first chapter for our heroes, who you're about to meet. Alongside your weekly entertainment will be additional vignettes, shorter form episodes specifically focused on specific characters and character relationships. These will be scheduled sporadically on off days, announced plenty of time in advance, so our audience can watch the relationships between these characters that we've all worked so hard to create, the pros even more than me, unfold in real time. We eventually hope to tell stories in a variety of other formats down the line too. Fans of my creative work might recognize characters from my genre novels making appearances, and that's intentional. Thank you for sticking with us and being patient while we took a whole month to put in the time, put in the hours to dream something original up. And we hope and believe that this is going to grow into a truly special project. To our established audience, to everybody coming back who so graciously gave us a month to plan and are here tonight and are going to be watching our content on this platform and others, welcome back. I am sincerely so grateful to have you here. It's been one of the most fun activities of my last 2 or 3 years to perform in front of you, to play games with you guys in the audience. And I'm thrilled to keep doing it. It's just such a great privilege. And I know I speak for everybody else when I say that. Absolutely. And to our new audience tonight, stretching through time, brought here from other platforms, maybe YouTube, maybe Discord when that comes. Welcome to Wealdport. It gets weird here. And without further ado, we're going to get to introductions. I don't have any characters to introduce right now, but my name is DM Schmeier. I'm your keeper. In real life, I'm a commercial litigator and trial attorney, but in my spare time, I write novels, I act, I do teleplays and screenplays, and basically all manner of stuff befitting a decently successful professional who just refuses to grow up. It's kind of a problem. I appreciate y'all tolerating me. And we're gonna pass it around. We're gonna have each member of the pros introduce themselves very briefly and introduce their characters very briefly and very vaguely. They've all come up with delicious, lengthy, and relevant backstories. I don't want them to reveal too much of it, but we're gonna do some introductions because this is round 1 of Start something new. So we're gonna start with Chloe. Go for it, and then pass the potato when you're done.
Cool. Well, hello everybody. I'm Chloe in my real life. I don't know. I pretend to do grown-up things, and then I come home and do not grown-up things, like making up stories. I am going to be playing. Ooh, I hope this worked. It did. Look at this amazing art that Ellen got us. I am going to be playing Edith. About 6 months ago, something absolutely terrible happened to her family that was magical, but she really wishes that it wasn't. It has resulted in the absolute breaking apart of her family. Her sister has disappeared. Her parents are no longer talking to her, and she is stuck doing year 5 of college, really just wishing that magic would go away.
Huh.
And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to give you guys.
Pass it on.
So, Elle, do you want to go next?
I would love to go next. Hello, everybody. I'm Elle. If you've been watching the pros for a while, or you just hang around Gooey Cube, you probably know me from that. I've been doing the art for this season, and I'm very excited. So that's my big thing. I will be playing Miss Rosemary Celeste. That's not how she talks. I don't know why I said it like that. Don't expect an accent.
My hopes got up.
Rosemary Celeste. She is a young lady who's just begun college. Well, she's in like her second year now. But she's a dreamer and a writer and a daydreamer. And she's just very like head over heels with fairy tales. And she is just really, really excited to be here. I think that's all that I should give away without going too far.
That's 100% up to you.
Rose and Edith are roommates, so.
Oh, yeah. Rose and Edith are like best friends ever. Rari's there too sometimes.
Wow, passing it off to Dan.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Dan. I like to stumble from creative pursuit to creative pursuit in my spare time. I've done acting, writing. I even typically, I'd say most of my best acting is done for an empty room without a camera on because I just kind of sit around daydreaming all day. And here I will be playing Rari Flynn, a irascible and somewhat irresponsible gentleman, an exchange student who has been crashing with Edith and Rose for a little bit now. He is a man who likes to find himself in whatever sort of mayhem he can get his hands on, and has chosen not to speak up too much about himself or his circumstances to the others around Wealdport so far. Definitely plays his cards close to his chest, but he has a pretty big swagger and a lot of attitude and a nose for when things get weird. And Bill, do the thing.
I'm Bill. I'm recently retired. Spend most of my time goofing off now. I'm playing Michael, who is a private investigator with a troubled past, and he's got no nonsense, sort of very factual type person. You'll see. That's all I'm going to say about him now.
That's totally fine. All right, folks, those are your players. I will be the keeper, not always, but tonight. And when I revert back to player, I will obviously be playing somebody. But I'm going to keep that pretty close to the vest for now. Wealdport is a city that is situated on an earth like our own, and yet not. The earth that Wealdport finds itself on, the world that Wealdport finds itself occupying, is a world that looks just like our own. It has the same technology. It has many of the same people. It has the same buildings and the same streets, the same cities, the same avenues and the same paths, the same wilderness, the same mountains, the same oceans. But one prominent difference exists, befitting of the modern fantasy genre. The world of Wealdport is a world where the shadows are not empty, where everything that went bump in the night didn't cease to be because you ceased to believe. A world where bad things unfortunately happen to good people, but where good people are capable of extraordinary and magical heroism. And that is the world in which we find ourselves, a completely original city, completely original characters. And our adventure with them and our adventure in Wealdport itself begins now. The four of you. For a moment, all you know is darkness. The thick, pervading, inky midnight that hovers over the senses, suffocating nerve endings without choking them, blocking out all stimulus you could possibly pick up from the outside world. Slowly but surely, you become aware of this darkness, much as occurs when a lucid dream begins to wind down, when you occupy that twilight between unconscious infinite possibility and waking up. As you're accustomed to doing when you've had enough of that warm, comforting, but all-encompassing darkness, you try to push to open your eyes, try to push to urge your brain to rejoin the land of the living with all of its perks and challenges. And none of the four of you have had it terribly easy of late. Your first sense that something might be wrong comes when these first efforts to slough off that weighted blanket of sleep don't succeed. You push again and again, harder and harder as your awareness and your wits return to you. But the weight is unyielding. Unconsciousness's pall too heavy over your senses. One would think that Atlas would shrug and you would wake up, but nothing you can do seems to move this sleep, this dreamless slumber. And you begin to feel the panic. You begin to feel the choking, hammering rhythm of your heart as you become aware that you are stuck somewhere you don't want to be and not everything is okay. Slowly but surely, a noise breaks through the suffocating cloud of silence. You can't quite tell. You push, suddenly noise, a sensory thread to grasp a hold of, to pull yourself from this ocean you're drowning in, to get back to the world of the waking, a place you've never been more desperate to rejoin in your entire existence. And finally, you have control over your eyelids and they open just as your ears tune in to the language being uttered by another that you share the room with. Okay, there we go. Well, it took you lot long enough. The room begins to focus as your eyes adjust to the sudden influx of light long denied it. A lavishly appointed room. Bookshelves on every wall, stretching to a ceiling that has to be 12, 14, 16 feet up, packed to the brim with tomes, leather-bound books, hardcovers of all manner and type. You glance down at your own situation, and you find yourself sitting paralyzed in a quite luxurious, if we're getting right down to it, leather recliner, leaned all the way back as you all just sit. You scan your bodies, and your first inkling that something might be wrong as you wake up in a place you don't recognize, that you don't remember getting to, is the presence of a crude IV in all of your left arms and the pacing of a man between you and each other as your seats form a crude semicircle around the open expanse of this room. The man is talking to himself. Results are promising. Trying to do something a little bit different here. Note to self, if the opportunity exists for additional subjects in future studies, use less aggressive tactics to ensure compliance. I'm thinking something is a little addled in the old brain matter. Health, consistent, stable, if not excellent. Musculature, the electricity and creative methodology used to keep it stable has proven quite effective. Subjects are healthy. I don't know if that's a victory or a waste of resources. Oh, and would you look at that? Subjects appear to be coming to. Research log 476 concluded. I'll get back to this later. I want all of you to roll act under pressure, which is 2d6 plus your cool rating. Will, what'd you roll?
8.
Okay. Rari, what'd you roll?
Rari, with his +2, gets a 10.
Okay. Edith, what'd you roll?
3.
Rose, what'd you roll?
12.
All right. Rose, you feel in a way that you probably couldn't really put to words, something very, very akin to, I mean, if you've had it, coming to from an outpatient or laparoscopic surgery, maybe getting your wisdom teeth removed, that very, very slow battle against what feels like anesthesia. And you feel your vocal cords begin to warm. And you find yourself able to conjure enough energy to say one thing if you choose to. Do you speak?
What's going on?
Compliance methodology has proven too effective. Subject displays confusion, an unacceptable degree of confusion. I have to learn to be more gentle. Calm yourself, child. Answers are forthcoming. You're not going to enjoy them, but I won't deny you them. Rari, you find yourself suddenly able to speak, although it is a Herculean weight that you're lifting off of your chest. You're not used to anything being this hard. What do you say?
Get your blasted throat over here so I can bite your bloody neck out.
Subject 214 demonstrates the same fight Subject 214 demonstrated when Subject 214 was acquired. Subject 214 should note that Subject 214's resistance was not sufficient the first time he supplied it. And if Subject 214 wishes to be uncooperative in the times to come, this researcher will not be afraid to give Subject 214 another ass whipping to remember. Sit down, shut up, I'll get to you later. Michael, it's your turn. You push and strain, but you find yourself able to utter noise, then language.
He's not going to say anything. I'm going to try to figure out what I have on me and try to remember the last place I was.
Please roll plus sharp to read a bad situation.
Is this tactical? I'm going to use cool instead of sharp. That's one of my
I will
traits.
allow you to do so. That sounds great.
Ooh, so that's an 11.
Okay. You are in. Oh, you got an 11, you said?
Yeah.
You are in simply a basic, like, dirty tank top that should be white, but really isn't, and sweatpants with foul, holy socks on. And because you rolled over a 10, I will allow you to ascertain one additional detail. You tell me what it is. You can look for dangers, you can look for details, or you can try to search your memories. Which do you choose?
I want details.
Would you like obvious helpful details, or would you like to ascertain clues that might be available in a future situation?
Clues.
You know the man speaking to you. Your brain is really foggy. It's chugging, in fact. But you are certain you know this man. You're certain. And if you roll plus sharp again with no bonuses and, in fact, a -1 penalty, perhaps you can break through the fog and come to a greater detail about that observation.
That's a 6.
You recognize the man in front of you as an old colleague that you've worked with several times in recent days. A brilliant, reckless, young, immature, but you thought basically good attorney from Wealdport's financial district, who you, and as far as you know, only you knows, is actually also a wizard of some potence.
So I know.
The man standing before you, speaking into a recorder as he maneuvers between your seats, is Aiden Grayson. Would you like to say anything or stay silent?
I'm going to stay silent for a little bit longer.
Excellent. Edith, it's your turn. You find yourself struggling to access controls of your muscles, of your vocal cords. But if you push, you can make out a sound, because you know this man even better, though you don't know this, than Michael does. And you recognize him just about as soon as your eyes start working. Do you speak, or do you choose not to?
I thought you were here to help people.
Subject 212 knows me, but that would mean fascinating. He wanders over to you, leans down, looms over you. You're unable to move, but all of a sudden you feel, just as a matter of well-honed instincts, deeply, deeply unsafe. His face is just about nose to nose with you, and you have never seen this facial expression on this man who has helped you before. You've not ever seen him look this hard or this flinty. There are scars on his face you don't recognize. Subtle, but you notice them this close up. His breath smells stale, sterile, like rubbing alcohol. If we weren't short on time, I would ask you so many questions. But given the situation and the probability that I'll be able to obtain answers for myself soon enough, I'm going to go ahead and let those lie. But do continue to look wounded and confused. it just makes this a lot more fun for me.
Fuck
And
you.
he stands up, wanders away.
As he was hovering over Edith, by the way, Rory is like doing his best to even just like flop in that general direction. Like,
Oh,
as
you've
much
got
as he
nothing.
can. Just like,
You've got nothing. You
Yes.
can't move. And I will tell you this, based on your experience and your identity, that bothers you. That is significant.
if he's capable of moving his mouth, then he's just baring his teeth like, ah.
I find myself amused to the hilt that you lot are exactly who you were when this began. There's so much that I would like to see. You're the final batch. You come by this honestly with the correct intentions. I wonder if I can't flip the board, perhaps. It'd be a gas. But no, too many variables. I think it's time I take my leave. To my final batch of research subjects, I thank you for what you have endured. I am aware that it wasn't pleasant. I'm not certain, given the the length of time we've been in trials and the amount of subjects that I've gone through and the data that I've collected. I'm not certain that your ordeals were essential. In fact, I would bet $5 that they weren't, but they were fun for me, and I appreciate the recreation. I'm going to take from you now that which I've given you. You're probably not going to survive it. In fact, I'm pretty much certain that you won't. And an addendum to that, I'm pretty certain it'll hurt as well. And for that, I am sorry, as those who are the recipients of affection from family should be treated like family. But my ambitions here, they're just too large, and I really can't spare you. I would like to wish each of you adieu. I suggest when you go that you die screaming. You wouldn't want your teeth to shatter from clenching, which will make it much more difficult to identify you when somebody finds you in, I would estimate 6 to 8 months. Best of luck. The asset goes now. And suddenly, all four of you experience something white hot. It's not quite pain, but it is adjacent. As the arms that you have your needles stuck in begin pulsing, vibrating uncontrollably. Your muscles spasm. It's like a Charlie horse all over your body. And the room goes dark as if all light has been sucked from it. And in the shadow of the cast by the soul window and the dying light of twilight outside, you see a shadow arise just out of view that makes no sense. A humanoid figure, impossibly large, hunched, tentacles, claws, stingers, wings protruding from so many surfaces. And you feel something pressing into your brain. Eyes? Are they eyes? Are they not eyes? Is your brain being touched? Is it being played with? What is happening to you? The pain and the confusion is so much, and you would do anything to let it stop. And then blackness. And if we had a title sequence on a television show, our credits would play, our theme song would play, and we begin part 1 of our pilot episode of Wealdport. Welcome. The four of you come to yourselves quicker this time, and now able to move. At first, all you can see is each other as you drift in a sea of foggy nothing. You can speak. You can move. You can interact.
Rose, are you okay?
I think so. Are you?
It's fine. It doesn't matter. Rory, what did you do?
What did I do?
Why did you call him back?
Edith, I don't know what the bloody hell you're talking about.
Why is he here then? Why, if you didn't call him back, why is he here?
What? Who do you... That weren't nobody I know. Or at least I didn't recognize him.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Michael. Who are you? I'm checking myself, see what I have on me, if anything, other than sweatpants.
Nothing.
Okay.
Just your clothes on your back.
I don't feel like answering that.
I'm Rose.
Or are we being polite now? Name's Rari Flynn. Pleasure to meet you. Now, would you happen to have any more information on where the bloody hell we are?
What can I see right now? Is it just like grayness all around us, gray as fog?
You are in a foggy expanse. Blank as far as the eye can see. But in your experience, and in fact, Rari, in your experience too, you're not unfamiliar with the basic conceptualization of what's happening to you. You are there yet not there. You are adrift somewhere in between.
We appear to be in some sort of group psychosis, and I think it's happened to 200 people some before us.
You're... Psycho, I'm sorry. I thought we were speaking English right now. We're in a fog in the middle of nowhere. Do you have any idea better than I do?
What does the ground feel like
here?
With my hands?
What does the ground feel like?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Squishy and dry.
Roll cool. Just straight.
It's an 8 straight. I get +2 usually.
Squishy and dry.
Okay.
How do we go home? How do we get out of here?
Rose,
Yeah.
tell me what you're thinking right now.
She's totally terrified. I've never even left the city, and now I'm a part of some weird group psychosis. I mean, I don't even sign up for therapy. I don't have time for that, let alone going to a group situation with Rari. I just want to get out of here. I want to go home and take a very hot shower.
You said I had the clothes on my back. Does that mean the crucifix I normally wear is on my neck still?
Sure is.
I take that off, wrap it around my hand. Would you shake my hand, please, to Rose?
Yeah, I guess.
I shake her hand. Do I see any reaction when she touches the crucifix?
She looks confused, but
She's a normal person.
2 minutes ago.
Rose, as your confusion is distracted by Mike's gesture and your thoughts are not quite so clouded by panic, your pulsing, overwhelming desire to go home, to retreat, you almost feel it like a muscle for a moment. And then some of the fog, just a little bit, clears as you're shaking his hand, and the four of you see a path. Just a path. Spongy grass, but it's ground.
We should go, right? I mean...
Let me go in front.
Thank you.
Edith, you comfortable with this person taking lead then?
Do you want to be in front?
Not particularly. But
Well,
I don't
then
know
we're
if I trust
comfortable.
wherever he's leading. He's the only one I don't know here.
I don't know where I'm leading. I'm just going down the path.
Goes. And Edith, you remember something that starts to prick in the back of your mind, a very unpleasant memory of your sister and the horrible things that happened to her. And something stands out amongst the din of horrible secondhand memories that she dropped on you when all that went down. I lived in a world where my fears were real. I need
Yeah.
you to look at me.
Okay.
And what is the happiest time you've been? What is the happiest memory you have?
I don't know.
It doesn't have to be huge. A park, or
Okay, yeah. There's this park near my house where, when I was a kid, my mom would take me for walks, and she would talk about fairy tales, and
okay,
it's
good.
like why I want to be a writer. That's where it comes from, right?
That's great. And she takes Rose's hand. All right, we're following Mike, or we're following this man. You look like a Mike. Or Bob?
I told you my name was Michael.
Oh,
Mike's a
He
common
did
nickname
introduce
for Michael.
himself.
And then you refuse to tell me your name. I'm kind of angling too, just kind of stepping slowly, one foot at a time, left foot forward.
Rory, happiest memory.
You really don't
Yes.
want me to say it.
Okay, well, just you don't. If it's inappropriate, then I completely understand. Just keep it in your brain. I want you to think about that, Mike. This is going to sound stupid. Think happy thoughts, and we will follow you.
Rory, do you do it?
They're happy for me.
Yeah. Suddenly, you all feel a pulse of restrained power, like a deafened explosion, and the fog blasts away, almost as if before a shockwave, as the boom, the power, the impact presses just slightly on your skin and then fades. And all of a sudden, Mike, to the silent tune of your crucifix getting hot, the environment completely changes, and you find yourself in a glade of blue trees. It looks different to each of the four of you. It alters itself to whatever your vision of rustic, peaceful beauty is, and it would be different to each of the four of you. But it alters and changes as if some great uncertain illusion has been dispelled.
This is better.
Okay, good. Keep thinking about your park.
Okay.
All
Rory,
right.
don't populate your happy memories with too many people.
Trust me, there wouldn't be.
Things.
Do I still see a path to follow? Or
You
I
do.
know?
There's a path through this glade. You just now are in a place.
All right, Mike. Well, carry on then.
What do you guys do?
Everybody stop for a moment. Can I hear anything? Any sounds of wildlife? Anything? Wind?
When you start listening for it, you can.
Can we hear the ocean?
Do you want to hear the ocean? Is it something that you find yourself seeking?
Yes, because I'd like to orient myself.
Then yes, you can hear the ocean.
Is it coming from a direction?
No. In fact, it's crushing down on your ears from all sides like you're stuck inside of a conch shell.
Okay. Nope. We're going back
Going back where?
to not the ocean.
Did I see the ocean?
Do you want to?
No.
No. And in fact, when she says she doesn't want it anymore and you have that thought, the sound of the crushing, cacophonous sound of waves completely stops.
Okay.
All right. Look, whatever's happening, it's reacting to us. We keep a cool head. We get out. Because I am done with this already.
It seems to me all three of you know each other.
Yeah, we live together.
Are you all three thinking of the same home?
No.
Don't imagine so.
Why don't you all three think of your same home and tell me the address at least? I can try to think of that too. We can all focus on that and try to walk in one direction.
Like where we live now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Mike, give yourself a luck. That's good.
Do we start with 0 or 1?
You all start with 1 because I do this differently. I do this a little bit more like fate does and treat them a little bit more like destiny points. But that's a reward for good thinking.
And they don't know this, but I know where they all live. I've seen it before, so I'm focusing on that too.
I figured.
Creep.
I figured.
I might even have a listening device there, possibly. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Rose, Edith, Rari, tell us about where you live.
It's an old house nearby Felton University. Easy walking distance. 2 bedrooms and a den for Rory. Sorry.
As
Couch is comfy enough.
you think about it, you watch right in front of you this home being built. Timber by timber by timber. It starts slow, and then as the more rational and skeptical of you get your heads around what's happening, and Mike gets involved in the sort of group conceptualization, it gets faster, and it's noisy, and it's wild. Truly one of the most bizarre things any of you, except for maybe Rari and Mike, have ever seen. And then there's a house. Not a board out of place, not a paint chip that is old and decaying and scratching off. Not exactly where you'd expect it to be.
Nope.
What
This
is going on?
aliens.
You hear a voice. Not alone.
I spin around to face that voice.
You see an old man in a dinner jacket, nice outfit. Looks like he was probably pretty handsome in his day, but some hard living and some hard aging and possibly some sickness has worn a lot of that away. And he's just standing about 10 feet away from your group, gaping at the house in awe. Not alone anymore.
I instinctively step in front of Edith. Who the bloody hell are you?
I pull Rose behind Rory with me.
I'm looking to the house, make sure nothing comes out of the house at us.
Is the guy, wait, really quick. House, us, guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You with the red hair, the hair of flame.
Hi.
Yes.
I'm speaking to the chained one. I will be with you in just one moment. I have a question.
It's not a polite way to talk to someone. Go on. Ask your question.
I'm sorry, red-haired one. In this space, in this void where the stuff of dreams is all that is, to speak anything but literally can invite calamity. You'll have to forgive me. I was merely wondering if you still yet harbor any hope to return to what was. And if you don't, how long did it take you to lose it?
I'm not sure what you think gives you the right to be asking total strangers what lies in their heart. But since we're needing to be speaking literal now, what's done is done. The past is the past. And it ain't never coming back. And I don't do numbers. Lost track a long time ago.
I understand. And I beg your pardon. It's just that in this space, I am as God. And your every thought and memory is mine to review in time beyond your comprehension or experience. I can't stop it any more than I can stop existing. I don't even know if you're real or just hallucinations wrought by the damage done to me by that accursed malefactor.
Could you describe the accursed malefactor?
A mage that I made the mistake of underestimating. That's all I remember. Then there's pain and indignities and uncertainties unlike that which I have ever experienced, and then the loss of my power, and now I'm here.
You know, this is starting to sound a bit more familiar.
Yeah.
I know it is. That is why I addressed you first, Red Hair. That is why I addressed you first. Girls, your fear is so pure. You do know that you're courageous, the both of you, for not descending into utter madness immediately after your ordeals. They are many and shocking, and I won't voice them aloud out of respect.
That's just what people do. How long have you been here?
I don't know. I don't know that time has any meaning in a dream. I'm sorry about your sister, by the way. Sorry about what happened to her, and about what still will happen to her. It's a tragedy, that.
How do you know
I
about
know
that?
everything. I know everything in your head. Every thought, every memory. You can't tell because you are all finite and weak. But my perception of this place, it's as if a book of all things is before me that I can read and perceive in an instant, which makes having company a good deal less boring than it was for the last eons beyond reckoning. And you, silent one, with the symbol of God around your wrist, why don't you tell them
Tell them what?
that they are not strangers to you?
I turn my head.
What does
I
he mean?
don't mean to generate conflict. It's just you are probably going to be the difference between life and death for all these young ladies in particular. And I would think that trust would be an asset to you at this juncture.
What do you mean life and death for them?
You're the only one who knows how to handle what you're about to face, what I am going to give you the privilege of facing. I'm sorry.
Why don't you just have me face it?
Because it would seem an unbalanced equation if I were to return you to life and keep the rest of them here. That doesn't strike me as fair in a cosmic sense.
You're going to return us to life?
Oh, you are very dead.
What?
It was not pleasant. I'm very sorry if you have memory of it. You were shredded in ways that defy easy description in your language.
No. I ain't dead. I
Oh,
ain't dying.
You're dead, but you're not gone. You're finite, but not at end. You see, he didn't dispose of you like the others. And the echoes of what was done to you cling your being to that world in a way just strong enough that I can return you. And I will return you, though you will likely then immediately perish in a more permanent fashion. But you will have a chance. I would ask of you one thing if I do, though.
What is it?
You are 4. There are 5. I need him awake. I need him free. I need the subject the Black Mage calls Subject 0 freed.
The one who was 214 ago.
More. The Dark Mage does not dignify the failures with a number. He has killed thousands.
Am I sure that I recognized the mage as Aiden?
You do.
It's not possibly, because I know a little bit about Aiden's backstory, right?
You do. It
Could
might be. You don't know.
Okay. So I know that it's possible it's not him. It could be, which would make more sense from what I know. All right.
Where do we find him?
Can you tell me about where you expired?
It was a room. It was a comfy room with an asshole in it.
Fantastic and useless contribution, Red Hair. Young ladies, can you describe the room?
It was like a study. It was a mess. There was medical equipment and a lot of books, burned stuff.
Good.
There were high bookshelves on the walls and a single window that let light through.
It's really fancy.
Young lady who calls herself Rose, but that is not her actual name, but she shortens it to Rose. You see the world as it should be, not always as it is. Will you tell me anything more about what you observed? You were the first to speak, I see.
He just said that I was confused. It was a beautiful room. The chair was nice, I guess, if that's where I died. I'm sorry. There were just lots of books. I was excited about that until I figured it all out.
Confused? What do you mean confused?
He said that I was inappropriately confused, and then Rari woke up.
Confused, inappropriately confused. One moment, young Miss Rose, I must see. Confused. Oh. And he looks at you each in a hard, penetrating way you feel into your bones. Oh, you don't remember. You remember nothing. Oh, no.
Don't give it back to us. We're fine.
I can't. It's gone. It's with it. Count yourselves lucky, I suppose.
What is it?
I don't know. But it broke me like a wave against rocks. I didn't think that it was possible. I remember that much. I remember my shock, my confusion at what was happening to me, but I have no memory of what once was. I only know what became of me when I lost my existential combat with the mage and whatever he seeks to unleash. You must rescue Subject Zero. Subject Zero contains, if only in his blood, the memory of all that has happened in that accursed estate.
Wouldn't it be better for that knowledge to just die?
It won't.
Edith, you're talking about our way out of here.
It won't. The Dark Mage, he doesn't want it to, and that should terrify you. I can't tell you more. The memories don't lie with me. The memories would lie with that who originated the process. Subject Zero would have the memories. You must...
Just to be clear, you can reach into anything inside of our head.
Yes.
But nothing from him. He's that far gone.
Far gone? No. He is outside of my equation.
Then how are we supposed to get there?
The room you describe, I have memory of. It is the study of the leader seized by the Dark Mage. It is in the lowest level of the estate that he has commandeered, now surrendered to madness. His lab is on the top. It is a repurposed, you would say in English, probably addict. Addict is one who is addicted to substances, although that is a coincidental.
He's in an attic. He's in an attic.
A laboratory in an attic. I'm fairly certain I'm giving you correct advice, yes. If you don't free him, I can't do anything. I can't take back the gift I give you in exchange for your promise. I lack that kind of power. I only have knowledge, not true strength. But if you leave him to suffer and decay in that place, well, your decision will contain and carry with it the consequences of a body count.
We won't.
But if we free him, we're giving his knowledge to the Dark Mage.
I don't see how, unless you allow the Dark Mage to reclaim him once you've freed him. And I'm not certain he would be much interested.
Okay.
What exactly do you mean by free him?
Are you not prisoners here? In this space? Sucked in to this void instead of the afterlife? Because my presence weighs strongly on that place, on that island.
So you're saying send him on to the afterlife?
I'm saying he has his own dark space. You must simply wake him up. He was not sucked into mine, but I feel him out there, beyond the borders of my own reckoning. He is weak and scared and confused, and knows nothing but pain and fear and apocalypse. But you must bring him round. You'll need it.
All right. So you're going to unkill us. We're going to get out. We got to go to the study, wake up this fella, and then
We need to go to the
he'll
lab.
know something we need to maybe slap this black mage that you're talking about. Right, Miss Kisser?
Delightful ambition, red-haired one. But no, the Black Mage is beyond you. He would merely kill you again. No, he will assist you in ascertaining how best to kill the pestilence which currently seeks to flee the island. If it reaches the mainland, the coasts and docks of what you call Wealdport, the world will end.
Oh,
I
great.
would imagine that you would want to stop that. If that was an incorrect assumption, I can see about unanchoring your essence and allowing you to drift into the beyond.
No,
But I don't know what waits for you there.
I need to return.
No, we will help, right, Edith? We'll help.
We are making a deal with a being that is beyond us, that probably has an ulterior motive, that does not want us to be well or alive. So I don't really see what choice we have, but I'm not particularly excited about it.
Oh, young Edith, take comfort in the lack of a choice. It means no complicity. It simply means an embracing of destiny. Your job is merely to survive and keep your word.
Or I could drift off into the abyss, but you know.
Excuse me.
Yes, young woman who abbreviates to Rose.
You seem to know a lot about us.
Everything.
Right.
You had a particularly traumatic birth, and I am sorry for that. That memory must be tortuous. I cannot even imagine.
That aside, could we know your name?
Oh, of course. If I knew it, I would tell you.
Great.
I was a king once. But I have no crown. I have no kingdom.
That one you could borrow if you'd like.
Yours wouldn't fit me.
No, I suppose not. Got
Very
no
kind
god-sized
offer.
crowns.
I like you. And yet, no offense, I hope that you remain chained to your current state. Just in the interest of general stability. I'm sorry.
Well, screw off and wake me up then.
Does anyone have any objection? Do you agree to free Subject Zero?
Do our best.
Yes.
Michael.
I do.
Michael?
Yes.
There's an axe in the closet of the study you're going to wake up in. I strongly advise you appropriate it. I would not want to confront what awaits you on those grounds and in that manner with your bare hands.
Understood, and thank you.
Rari.
Aye.
Your book. I don't know where it is, but it's there.
Well, it's bloody old. I hope he didn't get any oil on it. With
I'm not
bloody
certain.
Cheetos fingers or anything.
I'm not certain he could read it, and I'm not certain he tried to terribly hard. It's beneath him now, and that should terrify us all. Young ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This will ultimately come down to you. Perhaps not.
No. We are back up for Mike.
Edith, you can't be afraid of what stretches before you, and you can't reject what you know to be real.
I am not afraid. I am concerned that the power imbalance is going to need Mike. Also, should I unchain Rory?
Oh, I would advise you not to do that.
Okay.
I'm just examining your brain. I'm not sure you know how. All I will tell you is your fear and your petulance and your rejection of what is eminently understandable, but a barrier to your true power, and you have so much potential. I wish you the best of luck, all of you. Thank you for the company. I suspect I will treasure it for too long to come. Now, stand straight. think happy thoughts and get out of my house. Go! And you all wake up exactly where you were laying, in full control of your body, as if coming to after a long nap. And that is the vision on which our story begins and where we will take our first break of the evening.
Oof.
We'll see y'all in 10 minutes?
No, 5.
5.
For everybody who is new here, we usually take a little 5-minute break. The screen will go darkish. And I think I might still have some gooey cube stuff here.
I was going to say that, or there should be like a little BRB thing that I sent you.
Oh,
Yep.
neat.
So we'll be back. Give us about
See you
5
soon.
minutes.
5 minutes.
All right. Bye. First break.
Woo!
First break of the new campaign. First break.
You
It's
guys
the
are doing-
first break of the
You
new
guys are doing
campaign.
wonderfully. Thank you for playing along.
Hey, yo, sign. The
Some
moment is
intense
now.
Oh, that was good.
Good open. Good open. Oh, hey, you're in the middle now.
Yeah, I couldn't get him over here. I tried.
No, that's a good. The eye is
I
drawn.
was gonna say
to
it's
our,
like
our
a
keeper.
nice.
Yeah.
Whew.
Oof.
Starting
All
is
right.
what we aim to do, Sam.
It did. Okay. Unless anybody has any notes, we can dive right back into our creepy room.
My only note is you guys are doing great.
Back through the scary door.
Back through the scary door.
First thing Mike does is hop up, try to find the closet with the axe in it, and grab the axe.
You do so. It's just a basic closet. The study was maybe at one point repurposed from a bedroom, because you see some shelves and some cubbies and stuff in it that might have been intended to hold clothes. But what's in there now is mostly more books, and leaned up against the wall very prominently a wood cutting axe with what you are pretty sure is dried blood on the blade and handle.
Great.
Any bloodstains on the floor or the seats or anywhere we're sitting in?
A couple of obvious drops, like where the axe is resting, but not really.
Question.
Yes.
One of Edith's things that she just usually has on her is a pocket knife, like multi-tool thing. Is that something that she has now, or has she been stripped?
That.
That
I think
it'd be like so not a huge knife, but
I will give you a luck point if you go without, and you can spend a luck point to say it's in your pocket.
I will take the luck point. I will have no knife.
Okay. It's back at home.
Rari. I'm sorry. Where are you going?
Oh no, you go.
Okay, Rari is going to stretch himself out and wants to look himself over for lethal wounds real quick first. And then also is depending on how his body is doing and feeling, is going to peek around for a book.
You don't have any obvious wounds or bruises or cuts, but you feel distinctly like you have been through something awful. You feel like you've been in a car accident. You feel like you've lost a fight. Everything is sore, not in a debilitating way, but in just a sort of general it's uncomfortable, and I wish it were different. I can still move. I'm not impaired, but I wish it were different.
As he gets up and starts looking around for a very old book, he's going to be like, Mikey boy. Listen, Mike, don't get me wrong. I knew we were trying to not argue in front of a host or anything, and there's still some business to attend to. But I think I'm going to need that bit about not being a stranger explained to me once this is all over. That all right? You all right with that, Mikey?
Sure.
All right. Sounds good.
Now, the old one said that I would have experience with what we're dealing with. Does my leg itch?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
No. Is there any residual anything from the IV drips?
You want to look at them?
Yes.
So, roll sharp for me. Roll sharp. We're gonna have you do some investigation.
Just Edith?
Yep, just eat it.
I'm manning the door, by the way, while they're
Right
shutting
on.
up the room.
8.
8. You were in your childhood, as you know, very involved and very very productive. outgoing. You did a lot of different stuff in the neighborhood, right? And whereas like scouting and that sort of stuff didn't stick, you've had a rough go of it, especially the last 10 years. You went to enough of that sort of stuff to kind of learn a few medical tricks, right? You're not anywhere near paramedic competent, but you know basic first aid, and you have witnessed things like transfusions and the like. And what is surprising to you about what you're seeing with these IVs and whatnot is these are for pulling stuff out, not putting them in.
Okay. I would like to take one of the bags that's mostly empty, like find one that's mostly empty or dump it mostly out so that I can roll it up and stick it in my pocket so that I can take some of it with me.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So the IV bag, right?
You can take it with you. Absolutely.
Well, carrying around a whole bag of juice is going to be weird. So
there's nothing in it.
But they're not totally dry either, right?
Oh, they're totally dry. There's nothing in it.
Bone
Okay, well, I'm
dry.
still taking it in case there's something that we can use. And then there's the IV poles, like the metal ones? Yes?
Yeah.
All right.
They're crude. You think they're probably like hollow tin.
So they're not heavy of any kind at all?
Yeah. Just to sort of read your mind a little bit, if you were to hit somebody with them, it would probably hurt, but you'd probably only get one or two swings before it bent and broke. They're just really cheap crap. He got this stuff at a Walgreens.
Are there any wooden chairs in the room that I can break and hand a chair leg to Rose?
Break? No, unless you want to start attacking the upholstery and seeing if you can get something of value, but no.
There's no like IKEA chairs in here. Dang it.
Rose.
Two things. I am looking for a very big and very heavy book from the bookshelves to defend myself with, because I also don't have a weapon.
1 second. What's funny here, y'all, is I have an inventory. I prepared. The biggest books that you can find, there is a blue leather bound one, a more modern one with green and silver, like sort of paper, but not really. I forget what they call it, jacket on it. And the largest book, but you could tell it would actually be like, it'd be very, very heavy, is like an old decrepit brown monster of a thing tucked in the corner of one of the shelves.
She'll probably go for the first one, the leather bound one.
Go ahead. And she pulls it out. It weighs about 10 pounds. It's a beast. And it's all in a language you don't speak.
Perfect. Cool. And then she wants
I don't recognize it, do I?
You can't read it, but you recognize it.
All right.
Are there
Wait. Hold on. I would like it to be brought to attention that Rory does have some potentially relevant abilities. Specifically, he has a specialty that allows him to commune with certain magical creatures. If it is written in such a tongue, he might know it. But if it is just perhaps in archaic human language, he would be less likely to. No, nothing.
You want to look? Do you want to do it?
He's not necessarily. He was more looking out to see, like, oh, the big old leather one. Just wanted to see if that was his, but also if it looked interesting.
No book in here is yours. Okay. But you are. I will say this: you are probably a little stunned and a little disturbed at the variety of what you can see here, the contents of this little impromptu library. You know just enough about how difficult some of this stuff is to acquire, find, and master that you suspect low-key you're probably standing in one of the more impressive arcane laboratories ever assembled. Arcane libraries.
All right, so that fella back in there, he wasn't just blowing smoke. This stuff's the real deal. Be careful.
Okay.
And you would know, whether you want to tell those or not, you would know to probably tell a human that they don't want to read what's in that book.
Oh, and don't say none of it.
Nope. I was just gonna with it.
All right.
Are there? Oops.
Go ahead.
Good.
Is there anything that is pointy or sturdy that is not a book, like a pen or
Roll sharp.
What?
Roll sharp.
For sharp things.
Right. That is that is a 12.
Oh, it's 12. So the answer to that's automatically yes. You find a letter opener on the desk. It's not what you exactly call sharp, but it is tapered into a point that you can work with.
Right.
And it's not like a little, dinky collectible letter opener. It's you can you can wrap your hands around it.
Okay.
Rose is also looking for any notes on a patient 0 or a study 0, anything on the desk or anything she can quickly find. She's just trying to find anything on this person.
She's searching the desk.
Yes, if there is one, yes.
You roll for investigation, so roll sharp.
Sharp. That's a 6.
What are you looking for?
You can, I will give you the option because that's what we call a borderline roll, meaning you can succeed and have something unexpected and not exactly to your liking happen. I'm going to let you say you either find nothing or I'm going to let you say you find something, and I'm going to tell you what else you find if you do.
Let's go find something.
You root around really quick just while everybody else is sort of doing their thing and going through some internal monologue, and you find a legal pad just sort of buried in this mountain of crap on this old walnut desk that is pretty plainly notes in a decently legible handwriting. And I would imagine you start to flip through it, right?
Yep.
So the first couple of pages, you can tell it's relevant because they have subject numbers. It's not terribly informative. Most of it is just deceased, though some of them have deceased escape. One of them has deceased fought back. One of them has deceased procedure. You find another deceased procedure, and you find one that you don't like the look of. One entry is deceased consumed, and you flip another page, and what you find there runs your blood cold. Notes about you, your classes, your home, what you like to do for fun, where you go at night, your schedule. It is meticulous. A stalker could not have done better, and it chills you to the bone.
Edith,
What?
I found something.
I go over and take a look. This is bad, but makes sense. I'm assuming it's on all of us, right?
You don't find anything on Rory and Mike, but if you continue to flip through the pad, you find you, and the entry for you would have one detail that would stand out like a sore thumb. The entry begins with 2 letters, TE, and they're crossed out, and then it's your name.
Okay.
What did you girls find?
It's his notebook.
Oh, good. Let's take that.
Notebook.
Well, us. You're not in it.
No. Well, I'm bloody insulted.
Well, Rory, it makes sense that you're not in it.
If Rory's paying any attention to, like, as they flip through it and Edith shows it, you would see that you are actually mentioned in one line in Edith's information. And it is, if Rory protects, take down.
I guess we should
burn it or throw it away.
What?
If we go home, they're just going to follow us, aren't they?
But
Mike,
find out all about him.
Let's take it with us for now. Gives us some sort of insight into his mind. I think we spent enough time here. Let's try to get out of here. We need to get up to the attic.
Mike, do you take any lengthy glance at this legal pad notebook? Do you take any time?
Sure, since they've been so interested in that.
Roll sharp.
actually, I don't know that I hand it to him.
Ooh. Well, you got to work that out amongst yourselves. Or he can roll to take it.
We don't have a lot of time. Let me just see. Let me take a quick look.
If you display any hesitance, I once again step in front of Edith. Hold on there, cowboy.
It's notes. It's our whole lives.
Well, flip past the parts about you. See if there's anything of me in there.
There's not. Which is weird. Why? Why are you not in this?
Edith, maybe he knows something.
That exactly.
I know, but maybe he knows something.
Look, I'm a private investigator who was hired to follow Rose, figure out what she's up to.
What? Why?
I can't. There's something.
What do you mean what I'm up to?
My client hired me.
College.
Mythology.
That's what I'm trying to do.
More Rose?
Can I just look at the notepad and see what's in there?
Oh my god.
All right, I got an 8 on my sharp.
Yeah, see, you not only know how to investigate and how to thumb through some records, but you have some insight into the mind of the man you saw and recognized. So it doesn't take you long to recognize the note-taking style. You've gotten files written this way before for other work. And you trace back his methodology. You ascertain very quickly his organization, and you find the page on Subject 0. But it's mostly empty. The only information, the only note it has is Subject 0, success, it begins.
His notes on Subject 0 were that it was success. It begins. I'm not sure what that means, but it's not good.
You should go find him.
Aye, we should go find him. You
I'll take-
creep.
I'll take
Looking
point.
at Mike.
Does everybody have something? There's
We'll look along the way. See if
room
we
is
find anything else.
useless. Is there a
Thank you.
mirror in here?
No. In fact, conspicuously no.
If anybody should happen to see like another big book, old looking, some of the pages dog-eared a bit, just give me a holler, would you?
She's like, it's not a big one, right?
It's big-ish. Smaller than yours.
Okay. All right. So Mike, the private investigator, how do we do this so that we don't all die?
Let me take point. Just stay about 10 feet behind me.
Well, by all means, now that I know a bit more about you, go ahead, take the first hit.
But no, so we follow you and what? Watch our flank? The 6 o'clock?
We're in a house. There aren't going to be that many. There's only so many things that can come at us from so many directions. What's outside? I'm assuming is there a hallway outside this room?
There is. There's one door leaving. And because it's the first episode, I will go ahead and say, does nobody look out the window?
No, I don't think I do, actually.
That's fair.
I think
Just
Rose
nobody
is
look
too
out the
focused on Mike.
I'll be looking around.
In my head, I had the window being like a
No, it's
garden level window.
It takes up most of the wall.
As actually, I will look out. I will go look out the window as long as it doesn't mean that I leave a space in between Mike and Edith.
We'll say it doesn't.
All right.
This place is huge. You can't even really describe it as a yard or a lawn. It is an estate. And as you crane your head sort of left and right to see what you can take in, there is house, 4 or 5 story house, about as far as you can see until it corners in either direction. This is not some dude's Victorian brownstone in downtown by the culinary district. This is palatial. This is a manse.
Everyone, it's a bloody castle out there. It's bloody enormous.
Can you see any landmarks where we might be?
Oh, no. No, I can't.
You can see that there's water when you look far enough away. If you want to notice that, there's water. It's like
Ocean,
half
lake,
a mile that
stream?
way.
He said we were on an island.
Right. Probably the ocean then, unless it's a real big lake.
It's got to be one of the ones right by the shipyards. There's so many islands out there between the mainland and the peninsula.
That's where the shop
There's
is.
old houses everywhere. So we've got to find this guy, and then we've got to find a boat.
Right.
Right. Boats. Right. Let's go find Mr. Zero.
Yep.
Sure.
So there's outside the door. What do we see?
You open the door.
After
Well,
you
what you
PR.
immediately see is a corpse splattered against the wall with its neck bent at a really awkward angle and a massive blood smear behind it where the back of his head exploded. That's what you probably see first when you open the door and looked out.
Okay. What else? Mike doesn't
if-
really get phased by the corpse at all.
If you peer down to your left, there's not a lot. There's just a little hallway, and then it kind of dead ends. If you look to the right, there's a lot of hallway with several rooms kind of off. If you cared to look at them, you can see where the hallway terminates into a stairwell. The hallway is about 10 feet wide, about 9 feet high, and it is littered with about 15 very dead, badly broken bodies. And when you take in the scene, your leg twinges.
What are these bodies wearing as far as clothing and gear or anything?
Just general. They're just outfits. A couple of them are in suits. A couple of them are in black pants, black shirt, black tie. They have been torn apart. That's really the only way to say it. You would know better than pretty much anyone other than Rory that savage violence inflicted this.
Dear Boudica's pubes. Somebody had themselves a right time around here, didn't they?
See if you can find any better weapons on these. I'm going to walk towards the stairway, looking at each door with left right as I go down towards the stairway.
Are there any
Go ahead.
Are there any pointy fractured bones?
Oh, there are plenty. I mean, you got heads bent at awkward angles. You find one dude who has literally had his torso opened in an uncomfortable way and emptied out. There's some ribs sticking out there.
Better than her letter opener, though?
That I could pick up and
You would have to obtain them in a way that would involve lots of snap, crackle, and pop and a lot of disgust.
nope, can't do it. Mm-mm. I was hoping there would be a convenient elbow, but just snapped off. Just
Mike, Rory,
Mm-hmm.
roll for sharp. And Mike, you can use your tactical bonus.
Okay.
I think Rory's kind of fascinated, getting just looking around, getting a 4.
That's a 12. with our bonus.
These were not all killed by the same someone or something. This fight occurred all at once. All 15 of these corpses were killed at about the same time. And some of them are just obscenely shredded, just like a gorilla with razor blades for hands went to town on them. And others are killed in ways that you recognize. Disarmament, redirection, fatal wounds, almost clean. You find one neck snapped just perfectly. Like you almost admire the artistry.
I'm going to keep all that to myself. No reason to get the girls extra alarmed.
It's fair enough. If you had to guess, because you rolled 12, this group attacked the room that you all were in, and a pair of very, very different combatants dealt with the threat.
Okay. Do we keep going?
They said he was up, right?
Unless you want to stay here.
No.
Anything? I'm just doing cursory checks rooms as we go by. Anything interesting in those rooms? Anything?
You find a kitchen with more bodies,
Knives,
including one body that was very creatively killed using the gas burners on the stove in a way that looked like it was both efficient and yet somehow sort of sadistic. But if you take meaningful glances through the room, and there's no reason you wouldn't be able to see this, there is a kitchen chef's knife set in there.
Is Michael up there seeing this alone, or am I seeing this too?
no, knives. Grab a knife.
Fabulous.
Take a look. See if you can find a cell phone on any of these bodies too.
Okay. I'll start digging.
Once they each get a knife, once everyone else has a knife, I'm going to grab an extra knife if I can. Figure out someplace to stow it so I have a backup weapon.
Sure you can. You can just put it in your waistband.
Okay.
Rory takes one prolonged sniff in the room and just like
Does he?
takes that in for a sec.
It doesn't smell right. It doesn't smell like you'd expect it to smell.
All right. Not the normal burned body smell.
You don't smell cooked shit. You don't smell anything.
The gas is off
Wonder
in
if
the
he's
oven
been-
now.
I go up to that body. Does it look like it's been burned dead on the stove there for a while then, or?
It's pretty obvious that this is how this person was killed.
All right.
And if you look real close, it's a little blacker than you'd expect.
This one's weird. It's all weird.
It's all weird.
Any cell
Rose?
phones?
Put
Do
your
you
book
search-
down.
Do you all search, or does just Edith search?
I'm going to stand with the axe ready in case anybody else comes down. And other people search. Unless somebody really is incapable of searching, I can search.
No. Rose, do you take the knife?
She will, yeah.
I'm just gonna be watching Edith's back.
Do you search all the bodies for phones?
Yes.
Does anyone help you?
I don't know. Rose, help me look for phones.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I want you guys both to roll. What do you search all the bodies?
Yes.
I want you both to roll a d6. Tell me what you get.
Just one?
4.
2.
Rose, it's your luck of the draw, just as you're perusing this first room, to search the burned man. Do you do it?
If
When
I
you-
see her hesitating, for the record, I do lean over. I'm like, darling, if you don't want to,
I don't want
say
to.
so.
I definitely don't want to.
I do a little like, heh, and I'm like, eat it.
Go
May
for
I
it.
reach into the pockets and poke around?
When you reach into the pockets of the corpse, you feel like the flesh give a little bit, like movement, just off of that, like at least a little bit of touch. You're like, oh, that's weird. It would register with you. You've encountered dead bodies in your time, and right as it's registering to you that it's odd, the corpse tackles you as if it were a football game, and immediately begins trying to steady your face, open its mouth over your nose.
I'm stabbing. I'm right there. I'm stabbing.
This is quick. Roll tough, Rory.
Alright.
You're in a kick some ass situation.
All right, that is an 8 total.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna do it this way because I can. Yay, homebrew, and it's the first episode. It opens its mouth really, really wide, and you get a sensation and smell a smell that you're pretty intimately familiar with. So as you see that happen, you go, "Ah, crap," and move your head, and this thing breathes a jet of welder concentrated fire where your head used to be.
What?
You are wrapped up, however. You did not roll well enough to fight back. You are immobilized. You are tangled with this thing, and it is strong.
All right. You want a taste? You got it.
All right. Who else? Mike, you'd probably be the first to react in a situation.
I'm going to swing an axe at its head.
Okay. Roll tough.
That's an 11.
Yeah, you bury the axe in this thing's neck, which causes its head to tilt to the side, which redirects sort of the stream of fire that's still going. But the axe is just a little too dull to take off its head in one swing, so it just kind of partially severs it. And the creature stands up, the corpse stands up confused with its head dangling by a shred somewhere around its chest as it burns itself and the room alternately with a jet of fire and begins to stalk after you. Ladies, Edith, what do you do?
Okay, there's a sink in this kitchen, right? Does it have one of those like pull out things on the sink?
Slop sink? It sure does.
Fabulous. I pull out the slop sink and I start spraying it with water.
Nothing happens, but Edith, you get a +1 on whatever you're doing because this thing is now confused. It doesn't know whether or not it wants to wring Mike's neck or come after Edith.
I get it. Okay. Am I close enough? Go ahead.
Edith gets +1. Rose gets +1.
Rose, it's your move.
Rose gets the +1.
Yep.
Rose is gonna panic and try to shove it into the stove that it was on.
Roll luck point. Spend a luck point and roll.
Okay. Roll 2.
Roll tough. Yep.
Okay. She got a 5.
Right. Do you want to play the luck point on that?
Sure.
Right on. I'm going to go ahead and that's an interesting story thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just say you don't spend it. You don't burn it. You push it back and it's distracted, unbalanced. Its head is doing that disgusting thing. So actually kind of works in that it staggers back, hits the stove and sort of tilts and totters just enough for its flaming breath. There's no other way to put it, to hit the gas burners on the stove. And in a very sudden, grotesque flash of boom that does nothing really more to the rest of y'all other than singe your eyebrows, this thing ceases to exist in a very disgusting charcoal briquette shower. And that is an unintentionally really badass way to kill that creature. So congratulations.
I think we should hurry to the attic.
I'm going to put a few more axe chops into this thing and make sure the gas is off in the stove since we're going upstairs. I want the house to burn from the attic or from the basement.
Smart.
And start going upstairs.
They were on, and it was smart to turn them off.
Let's go. Please.
In case you were curious, they don't normally do that.
I didn't
New
think
plan,
so.
leave the bodies alone.
How many
Leave it.
bodies have you dealt with?
Who's to say, really? And I'll get moving.
I think
I'm going to take points still.
You spend no more time in the kitchen?
no.
I think we're good.
Okay. The only other 2 rooms you encounter in the hallway, you encounter a coat closet where you find the bottom half of somebody, but not the top half. It's really rather unpleasant. You don't like to think about it. And the final room is just...
I'm going to look in that pocket, so I'm not too worried if bottom half corpse comes at me.
Yeah, nothing. In fact, you know enough just about the world in general that the conspicuous lack of stuff on these people is strange. This is like noticeable.
All right. And what's in the other room?
The other room is just general storage. And if you poke around, most of it's in boxes. Do you poke around?
Yeah.
Just
Still
take a
looking
minute.
for
Go
better
around.
weapons.
You don't find any weapons, but you find like art, curios, maps, and all that sort of stuff. A couple of paintings actually look pretty cool.
Like paintings of what?
All sorts of stuff. There's one with a woman in a boat, and you can't quite tell what she's doing in the boat. And the focus of the painting is really more on like the moonrise that's happening behind them. And there's another one that's like a British man of war of the Napoleonic era sailing through a thunderstorm. And there's another one that is a painting of mother ducks leading her ducklings across the street, made in oils. And there's another one that looks like a hand-drawn map of Europe circa the 16th century.
Mike, can we go?
Yeah.
Still no book. Bloody shame.
All right. Take point, head upstairs.
The door upstairs doesn't open.
What kind of lock does it have?
Pretty basic. Just key, lock.
Like a warded lock?
As far as you can tell, you don't see any sigils, glyphs, or anything that would connotate magical
But
presence.
it's not like a disc tumbler or lever tumbler. It's like a warded lock, like an old 19th
Yeah,
century.
old school.
I'm gonna run back to the kitchen, see if I find anything that I can use to jimmy the lock open with.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for investigation on that.
That's sharp. That's a 10.
Yep. You find incredibly crude kitchen tools that will do the trick.
I'm trying to pick this up because I don't want to make a bunch of noise if we don't have to. If I can, I'll just take an axe to open it, but I'm trying to be quiet for right now.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll cool. I'm gonna roll against you.
Okay. 11.
Ha! You pick the lock and open it immediately, but the door is heavier than you expected and opens in the wrong direction and definitely thuds against the wall outside.
Still quieter than chopping it down with an axe.
Yes, the thud is not pronounced, but there is a thud.
What do I see beyond the door?
The door opens into what you can only estimate is the second level of this manor, this place. It is it opens into a lavishly appointed foyer with a variety of sitting couches that you would buy on an antique show infomercial at 1:00 in the morning, and breaks off into more than one wing. The floor plan of this place must be wild, but you can head not two, but three directions. There are no stairs further up. It's just the entry to this foyer in the level. And you see, as you scope out this room, just a mountain of shoes and clothes tucked by one of the sitting couches. It comes up to about your pecs.
Any of them mine?
You want to look through them all?
Let me start digging through real quick, see if I can find my stuff.
You can find an outfit that is definitely yours. All of you can, in fact.
Does it have all my stuff with it?
Does not.
I'm still good. Still has my shoes though. My
Yep.
work boots. Okay, that's actually helpful. We'll put those on.
Are we barefoot?
We're in
You're in
socks.
socks.
Oh. Okay, well, I'd like to find my shoes too then.
I'm at least taking my scarf.
Anything
I like
else?
my
Anything in the
scarf.
pockets? My lighter.
Nope. You got this has been your stuff. Y'all can pretty much tell. Just this has been either field stripped or you didn't bring anything to this place.
All right.
All right. Where to from here?
Choose a doorway.
That
That
one.
one. I'm gonna say I was pointing in the opposite direction.
I'm going with Edith. I'll go the way she points.
Lead on, milady.
Anyone? You just walking through?
Oh,
So,
I had the axe ready.
You
open
go
the door.
left, right, or central? Tell me.
Edith.
Right?
Okay. One moment. Flipping to right. You open the door into a large, high-ceilinged room that first thing strikes you is that this is unusually big to just be right off of an area like this. And in this room is all manner of orchestral instruments. It has multiple grand pianos. It has several harps. It's a music room. It's an art room. The walls are decked out with paintings of all different sorts. And of course, they're dead people.
Okay. Can we avoid the dead people?
Please.
I don't think this is what we need.
What do you mean avoiding the dead people?
Well, you said there's dead people in there. Can we just open the door? Oops. Piano room. Nope. Thank you.
Is that what you do?
Well,
I
really
think-
quick. Mike, did you let me go first, or are you going
No,
first?
I'm going first every time. But
Okay.
if I see the girls kind of freak out and go back, I'll go back out of the room and try another door.
So to be clear, you open the door, freak out at what you see, and close it?
I'm not freaking out, but it's definitely
Rose is freaking out.
we don't need more dead things with piano wire. So I vote we close this door and try a different one.
You close it quickly because you articulated that you wanted very much to not go in that room or have it open. And you don't slam it, but it makes a noise. And when it does, a tense second passes and you hear something. It's not pronounced, but it is a clear creak.
Behind the door?
Nope, in the room with you.
Oh,
What?
shh. Where is it?
You guys look around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everyone roll sharp.
Count 2.
Is this a bad situation?
You don't like it.
Ugh. 7.
9.
Anyone get double digits?
Nope.
No. So tell me where you're at in the room, everybody. I know Edith and Rose are by the door. Where are you, Rory?
Sticking fairly close to Edith. I'll say taking the opposite side of the room, looking around that Mike's on.
Mike, where are you? You're on the opposite side of the room?
Yeah, I had just closed the door, but when
No.
there was some sort of danger, I put myself between the danger and the girls.
So you tried to put yourself between the creeks and the girls?
Yeah.
You're trying to look around. You hear just weird creaking, but you can't orient yourself. It's not necessarily going well. You're unable to determine what's making the noise. The noise is changing in weird places, and as you're trying to orient yourself to it, you suddenly feel a horrible, strong pressure grip your throat. Roll tough.
Ugh. 6.
Tell me what you do. That's mid. So tell me what you do.
I'm going to try to push it off with the axe. The axe handle, try to get some distance between me and whatever's choking me.
Yeah. So there's nothing that you can push the X handle off in, which gives you a pretty immediate, interesting bit of data. You are being choked and sustain 1 temporary harm by a hand. Just a hand, totally disembodied, and it is strangling you.
Wait, can we see it?
You guys can if you turn around when he makes a gurgle.
I turn
I do.
around.
Yep.
Can I grab it?
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Roll tough.
Grab the hand. 5.
It turns on you, and now it's choking you. Take 1 harm.
Oh,
Bloody hell. I gotta run in at that point
Yeah.
and try and get it off of Edith.
Can Rose assist him?
What do you guys do? Tell me what you do.
I mean, if you grab it, she'll like also and tug with you.
Roll tough, both of you.
Me?
Decide which one of you is doing the bulk of the lift, but both of you roll tough.
Probably Rory.
Probably
Okay.
me.
So tell me what you roll.
That
I
is
got
a
tough. 10.
And 9 on my end.
Yeah, well, 10, that's enough for an assist to have her help. So you guys, you get it off of her. Tell me what you do.
All right.
Those are great rolls.
I think this is I'm still probably pretty surprised by this. So we got it. I kind of picture it like being a fall back, and then just I've got a hold on it, pulling it off her, and then just like trying to keep it in my hand.
Rose, stab it to the ground.
Okay.
Oi, pin the bastard!
And she'll try to.
Trying to
Roll,
hold it up.
roll tough again.
Put it on the ground.
I'm so scared. Okay. Oh, this wasn't the worst it could have gone. It's a 9.
So you stab it into the ground, and it stops moving.
I think you double killed it. I think it may have been dead before. I'm not sure, but it might be very dead now. I ain't
That
gonna
is
mess with it though.
hand.
Just so I'm clear, this is a disembodied human hand.
Mhm.
Just stab it a few more times.
You know what you did just there, Rose? Eh? You gave me a bloody hand.
Right.
As you're talking about it, it suddenly explodes into motion, pulls
Jesus.
itself up through the hand, doing horrible, gruesome structural damage as it does so, flexes on the ground, and then from its wound comes a horrible protrusion, sharp bone knife-like. Just it sits back on what was its stump, and legs, not unlike a crab's or a spider's, made of white yellowish bone, explode out of the stabs up, and it runs at Rose going like this.
And it has its knife. It has her knife.
Jump again.
Rory, you're the only one close enough to do anything. What do you do?
I am going to try and run up and punt kick.
Go on, be at it.
Go ahead and roll tough.
All right. That's a 7.
You punt it, but you catch one of the weird, sharp, bony legs and suffer a 1 harm wound to your foot. But you punt it so hard into the wall, this new claw spike-like protrusion that it grew before your eyes embeds in the wall. And you watch for several tense seconds, and this thing it's stuck.
I'm going over chopping little pieces.
Wait.
No,
Mike,
let him chop it into
don't-
pieces.
Because the pieces could stand up again. Why don't you use the flat end and you just pound it in like a bloody nail? So it's
Switch
more
around.
stuck.
I'll try that. Makes sense.
It's a good idea. You're not being resisted. It's stuck. You pound it in, affix it more firmly. And all this thing can really do is like flap its fingers and its weird little legs just click, but it's stuck.
Oh,
Okay.
you thought you were so bloody cool getting one over on old Rory. Well, no. No, I ain't dying to no hand today.
Let's keep moving.
We should do it
Let's go to the other door.
very quietly.
Yo, your neck's hurt, Rory, your foot hurts, but you're okay. You can heal the harm you suffered.
Oh, okay. Is that how it works? It can happen pretty quick.
If I deem the wounds trivial, they can add up for the fight that is occurring, but they don't need to last if you don't suffer anything too brutal.
Okay, sounds good.
Rose
So-
can get the knife back, right? It's not in that thing.
Yeah, you can. It's still pinned to the floor, covered in ichor and tendons and stuff. Where
She
yeah,
takes like her shirt and tries to wipe it off a little.
There's a whole pile of clothes you can use.
So
That would be better.
are you too disgusted to look, or do you look as you're doing it?
She would be trying to wipe it off. So I would guess she's looking at it, but she looks sick.
That ain't
Hold
blood.
on. Ro-
That ain't blood. That is a black viscous liquid.
I take
That
the knife
is
from her and
not
wipe
blood.
it off and hand it back to her.
Not blood. Mike, you enjoy no part of touching that stuff. It does not feel right. Rubs you wrong, gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Edith, door number 2.
Middle. But quietly.
You open it into another hallway. It's empty.
Do I see stairs?
Nope, just a hallway that goes into 2 right angle corners.
Okay. I think we were
Let's
going
take-
for the one that was central from the first starting position.
Yeah. Okay. Down the hall.
Anything in the hallway furnished? There's tables, vases.
Bodies.
No bodies.
Yay.
There's one broken table. It's just like a side table. It's broken as if someone got thrown into it. And
Weren't you looking for a bit of furniture?
Yeah.
And
no.
do you guys look at the furniture a little bit more?
Yeah,
I'll
briefly.
take a peek.
Roll sharp.
With his negative there, that's a 6.
I'll give it to you. You just kind of kick around the debris and you find your book. Someone was holding it, was thrown into this table. The body is gone, but the book was left.
Oh, some disrespectful cuss. Just took this thing, was trying to scramble away, and got tossed through a table. You think folks would have more respect for others' things?
I'm going to try somewhat quietly to break off a table leg for each of the girls. They have a little bit more of a distance weapon instead of a knife.
Works just
threats.
fine.
Yep.
Works just fine. Each of you get a 2-arm blunt weapon, arm's length range.
Knife and the big thing, right?
Rory, as you're obviously like just examining the scene where you've discovered your book, the wall, like 8 feet away, is scorched black from where you find the book. Like somebody took a flamethrower to it.
Yeah. Don't like it at all. Okay. I am just going to hold it tight, and I'm going to finger open to some of my dog-eared pages that might have something a bit more useful should we be jumped again by any more unpleasant or potentially handsy opponents.
It's fine.
All right.
What comes next, yo?
Any rooms down this central corridor?
Nope. It's just a hallway. Hallway where something horrible happened because the walls are like destroyed but it's empty.
Seems we've only got one choice then.
Keep going, Mike.
Yeah, there's hallway goes to the right and left.
You can go right or left when you get to the end.
I'm going to take a look down each side, see what I can see down each end.
It's a little bit more hallway terminating in a door for each end.
Okay, so we got only the one hallway option left.
Well, there are 2 hallways.
Yeah, you can go either direction. They both end in a door.
Go
Well,
right.
sure, but we went down one unexplored hallway already, and then we're in a different one, and there's one remaining unexplored hallway.
If you wanted to go back to the foyer, yes.
Okay.
Let's just go down. We'll go to the right. I'm going to listen at the door and try opening it, assuming I don't hear anything.
Roll sharp.
No, 4.
You hear something. It sounds like a voice, but you can't really make out. You just hear.
I would like to say, hold up for a second, and I would like to attempt to observe another place using my book, that being on the other side of the door.
Okay.
Are we doing this book rules? Should I roll and add my weird?
Yes.
All right. Okay. This one with an 8 works with a glitch, which is up to you.
Yeah. All right. So the rest of you watch this guy cast a magic spell, and his eyes roll in the back of his head and go white. And Rory, suddenly you see just a dark smoking lounge. There's no light on. The windows have the curtains drawn. You can just kind of barely make out like the details of the furniture, but there are so many shadows and it's so dark. But then you hear, why doesn't it work for me? Why don't I change? Why Why when I take it, why doesn't it give me the gift? I deserve the gift. I have tried to take the gift, but it won't give it to me. And I will continue to add. I will continue to add to the collection, and I will continue to assemble pieces. And if it will not give me the gift, then I will collect the gift, and I will assemble the gift, and I will have my own gift. Yes. You want to see the voice. You're just naturally curious. So you push further into the room. Further into the shadows.
Rory!
And then you see the gleam of 2 red eyes. And, oh, more collection.
We've been seen.
And
Rory!
the door explodes outward a second later, splintering just the whole frame, caving in and pushing forward as if a small moving vehicle hit this locked heavy wood door. But it stops whatever's coming through for just a second.
We should run.
Mike?
Run, and I'm going to swing at it.
And then the door explodes open with enough force to kind of throw you back and everyone back. You get a swing of your axe off, and it embeds in something that comes through fast so you can really see it before you're knocked flying. Luckily, you don't land very hard. You don't suffer any harm, but it knocks you back. And you all stare up at what even is this thing? It is a pile of stitched together corpses walking on what must be a dozen arms, multiple torsos stitched together in crude, haphazard fashion with stuff wrong with the body, eyes growing out of the skin, heads sewn on in weird, haphazard angles, those weird bone spikes and blades coming from what approximates shoulders, ribs, multiple arms, 3 arms per side, protruding outward. All of them don't end in hands. They terminate into these stubby, bony spikes. And the top is just the head of an ordinary-looking, actually fairly handsome young man who just looks at you, looks you over. I will have to break you to take your gift. This will hurt. I am sorry. And it begins to chitter for you on its arms.
Can we run down the hall and close the door?
You could go through the other door. That's your straightest shot. You can either hang a right and run back towards the foyer, or you can charge straight and go through the other room.
I'm just going to be moving, but I'm going to be like, we should split up.
No, that's terrible. And no, I was thinking about going back into the foyer because isn't there a door in the foyer
There's another one.
that we could close on this hallway?
You could close either doorway. You could go through the door at the end or the doorway back to the foyer. You could close either one.
But the doorway at the end, we don't know what's in there.
There's no door that's going to stop this thing. Also, you can pretty much tell by the way it
Just
got
blew
through
up a
that one.
door.
We need
Just
a way
slow
out.
it down. Mike,
Or bait.
roll cool immediately, quick.
Everyone?
8.
Nope. It reaches up to where your axe is embedded in it. Weird tendril tentacles extend from one of its stubs, wrap around the blade. It pulls it out and throws it at your feet. The wound, another bone-spiked blade emerges from it, suddenly impactfully, violently, explodes out of it. And he quirks his head, looks at you, looks down at the axe. Please give me another.
Oh, no, we should run. Down the new hallway.
I'm trying to take my time while they get out. I'm trying to just take as much time as I can until they get out.
Okay.
Bye, Mike.
I was going to say, you don't have to convince bro. She runs.
We're running down to the new freaking door,
Okay.
hoping that is the stairs up. That is what we are hoping.
Do you go through the doorway?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you close it behind you?
Don't
Not
see much of a
without Mike.
point.
Is Mike coming?
Is Mike coming?
Yes, as soon as I can.
Okay, so
acting
we
up
hold it
slow?
for Mike and then we close the door.
How slow are you going, Mike? How slow are you retreating?
I'm just grabbing the axe. As soon as I see they're clear, I'm grabbing the axe and running.
Okay. And
Edith,
you hear it
Edith,
following you,
come on.
and it calls after you, and it's just a perfectly normal voice. No, that's not how it works. You must take me apart so I can change. I must take you apart so I can grow. Stop running.
Not gonna happen.
Keep going.
No.
In the other side of this door, what is there?
You open the room into what can only really be described as a main entrance hall, including prominently featured a stairway up.
Up the stairs.
Everybody upstairs.
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs.
Do you guys just run?
Yes.
If there's any like thing I can like knock
No.
over to make it inconvenient on the way, I would attempt to do so. Just like shoving over tables. I know it can probably, get over them pretty easy. I'm just trying to make it inconvenient.
Well, it works. I mean, you find pedestals with like marble busts, and there's furniture, there's wardrobes, there's all kinds of eclectic weird stuff. So you throw it down and you put obstacles in this thing's way that it immediately runs into as it starts catching up. But unfortunately, all that noise causes all the corpses in this room to very noticeably and suddenly stir, and they wake up. They stand as you're charging away from them and running up this grand central staircase, and their bodies start to change in all sort of horrific ways. The one of them, who has his head rotated entirely backwards, moves it back forward, and then his hands suddenly grow twice, 3 times their normal size. Another one stands up, and half his face is removed, bitten off, but what remains of his teeth grow into these horrible, obscene, protruding spikes, and they look like they're about to charge after you when the abomination that's chasing you gets their attention. And before you know it, there is a brutal, horrifying, bloody melee occurring as these things just start tearing into each other.
Tell you what, I don't stay to watch it.
No, Rory, come freaking on.
I did that. I bloody did that.
You did. Good job. Thank you.
He did.
He's just like winded and everything.
Edith, this would be a hell of a lot easier if you could just,
Yeah, no, I am taking the advice of the mysterious man who seemed to know things, and I am not doing that.
Screw you, Edith.
I'm sorry.
Guys,
He keeps moving.
What do you do, Mike?
I'm going to try to get back to the front and find a door and get inside and close the door once everybody's through, if it's the room somewhat safe.
But we're going up the stairs, right?
Yes, we're going to keep going. Go upstairs until we run out of staircase.
You have a little time. Like, you're not the type to easily panic. So you have a little time, and there's not any immediate danger anymore. They're quite busy with each other because, as you kind of notice through various glances, none of these things are very easy to kill. In fact, every time they do something to one another, they alter and become seemingly more lethal and throw themselves back into the fray. It's carnage, but it is carnage that is not ending in any casualties down there. So you've got a little bit of time. You assess, you could go through the west or east wings, sure. Those will probably lead to bedrooms, more storage. Or you could just keep going straight, because straight in a floor plan like this, in these old houses that rich people buy and remodel, usually means further up.
Yeah, we're looking for any stairs up.
Straight up.
Hey, Rory, any chance you can cast a spell and figure out where our stuff is?
Yeah, you're really taking that in stride. We're going to need to talk about that one as well. And I am leafing through pages. And
Mike has a pretty idea what he is.
Yep.
Yeah. And I am going to look at a page, plant it on there, and I am going to search around for stuff.
Good.
Okay, cool. No complications this time. I rolled, and this is pretty nice here. A 14.
Nice.
Yeah. So you immediately are able to identify just tons of your possessions. In fact, you sort of magically just gain an awareness of everybody's stuff, and all your stuff is back at your house. All Edith and Rose's stuff is back at the house. All Mike's stuff is like in a car or a van somewhere.
Good news, bad news, everyone. I know exactly where all of our things are. They are nowhere near here.
Great.
That one's the bad news, in case I didn't preface that well enough.
No, we got it. Keep your voice down.
Right, let's keep going towards the stairs. Keep going up.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Also, I
ascend.
shouldn't do that for too often.
You ascend and ascend and ascend. The noises of fighting behind you don't stop, but they get quieter. Eventually, it levels off in another stretch of building. There are a few rooms to either side, but farthest back, you see what you know will be basically a ladder up.
Up the ladder.
Let me take point.
By all means.
You go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go up.
I'll take up the rear in case anything's coming back after us.
What you find as you ascend into this overcroft is something out of a Victorian science fiction novel. It's a laboratory. That much is plain. Just a cramped but long room with two tables lining either wall. On one table is all sorts of random chemistry equipment. It looks like it's been appropriated from like a school lab or school supply company. All sorts of trays, random dissected crap on the trays. You can't really tell. The other table is just a bunch of open, dusty books. Some are on like the opening page. A couple are closed, shoved off to the corner. Some are open right in the middle. In the far back of the room, you see two tubes, just 8-foot tall tubes filled with weird glass liquid. And in between them is a chair, just like you woke up on, where a young man sleeps.
That him?
That's got to be him.
I'd take a good look.
Doesn't look like the guy who was questioning us when we first woke up, right?
No, nothing like him. He's actually kind of, if you just take a look, he's kind of Edith and Rose's age. He's got really patchy but very present and apparent stubble. His hair is long and shaggy and disheveled and disgustingly greasy, but he's a young man.
All right, let's get him out.
Yeah.
Is he attached to anything?
He is attached by each arm to two other IV-like tubes that hook up to either large cylinder filled with that weird, murky green gunk.
All right, we got to get moving quick. Anybody want to rip them out, or shall I?
I'll take it. I'll take him out.
Wait. I'm going to just pinch off the IVs first, see what happens, if that has any effect.
Not immediately, but you
Give
definitely
it-
stop
give
the
it-
flow of something.
give
You're
it a
not
minute.
translucent, but you can definitely feel like you're pinching off and stopping something.
I'm folding when I'm pinching. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
give it a minute.
Mike, is this really the time?
I don't know what we're dealing with. I don't know if we want to rip them out or just.
Mike, there's a...
I think
I've been around for a minute, and I've seen some shit. I ain't never seen nothing like that down there, and I don't know if it can climb a ladder, but I don't aim to find out.
Oh,
Rip it out.
pull
Rip
up
it
the
out.
ladder.
Rip them out.
I'm gonna run over to the attic and pull up the freaking ladder.
You hear tapping after you hold it shut enough. And Mike, you're the closest. You look over at the cylinders, and all you can see is some weak, horribly deformed like vaguely fetal humanoid creature just tapping on the glass rhythmically.
Unhook him. Unhook him right now. And let's just
Wait,
get him
are
out.
we sure that that's not the one? Because, like, they didn't really specify.
Either
Yeah.
way, let's unhook this guy. He's out of the tube.
Yeah.
And also normal looking.
Okay, was Michael saying that he did unhook him or asking for Edith to unhook him?
I was asking somebody else to unhook him.
Okay.
Oh,
'Cause I don't
I'll
wanna
get
go
it.
this.
You unhook him?
Schloop, yes.
Schloop indeed.
Nothing happens, but you unhook him. And the thing keeps tapping.
Okay.
Can
I'm
you
gonna
make
look at
eye
I'm gonna
contact
look at
with
the
it?
thing.
Yeah.
All right. Hello? Do you speak anything?
There is nothing behind its milky white, deformed eyes. In fact, you're not even certain they work. They look borderline vestigial.
You know, I don't think it's that one.
I really don't think it's that one.
All right. Well, let's get this one out of here then.
Do we leave this one alive?
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's kind or not, but
I don't think this place cares about kind.
well, no.
Mike, can we
Do you
break
want me?
it?
Should we kill it?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm holding the crucifix up to the glass, see if anything happens.
Nothing happens to the creature in the glass, but when you hold up the crucifix, like get it right up there, I'm imagining just like right in front of you by this little emplacement because it's pressed right against the wall. The young man twitches.
Oh,
Are you hello?
got something out of him there. Your bloody Jesus magic is working now.
Are you okay?
Mike, you would know it's not reacting in a way that it's like it's repelled or there's some sort of faith-based ward occurring there, but it is reacting to something you're doing with that.
I'm gonna reach over to the sitting lad, and I'm gonna give him like not like a hard, but just like a on the cheek, trying to see if I can stimulate a reaction.
Now that
Mike, what's your crucifix made of?
Silver.
I can try and carry this load of potatoes here, but you look a bit better suited for it, Mike.
I'm gonna try to pick him up, throw him on my shoulders, fireman's carry style.
Actually, what if the three of us carry him? Mike, you have the axe.
To be honest, that's probably better. It's not like me with an axe is a great plan.
How much does he weigh approximately? How big is he?
do you want to? I mean, he's pretty solid. He's about, you'd guess, like 6 foot when he's standing up, and when you just like take a look, he's kind of in raggedy clothing and whatnot. But if you assess, kind of move it around, he's built like a football player.
Are his muscles like they've been not fatigued, but I can't think of the word.
Atrophied?
Yes, thank you.
No, he's immaculate. In fact, he looks like he's carved out of marble.
You say he had stubble. How does he have long fingernails? Can we tell how long he's been like this?
He has long fingernails and is disheveled, long hair.
Yeah.
Stubble. I mean, it's
he's been there for a
really
while.
dangly and horrible looking, though, like growing out in patches and random little long whiskers that, like, if he had been walking around the street, someone would have been like, "What is that thing on your face, dude?"
Is there anything we
I'm
can make
looking-
a litter out of in the room?
The really only things you could try to repurpose would be the tables, but it'd require some demolition.
While
Plus,
he's
those
looking
are
at that, I'm gonna look around for another exit.
You could dive out a window.
We're
I
like
found a window.
7, 8 stories up, something like that.
5. You wouldn't. There's not
Are there
a sure
vines?
thing that you die when you hit the
Are there
ground.
vines?
There's like ivy and stuff, but there's nothing you can climb down.
Especially carrying a body.
We could. Are we going back down the ladder then?
I think
Are we
have
hoping
to.
that the thing ain't? Well, I don't know. Maybe it didn't know we're up here. We could be fine. We could
What's
be
the
fine.
humanoid thing in the glass container doing now?
Still tapping?
Tap. tap, tap.
He seems just fine.
His little arm seems to be the only thing that works.
The creepy old guy said we should set patient 0 or the subject 0 free. And these
guy, he's free.
These IVs are drawing something out.
Guys, can we leave this place standing?
We could set it all on fire if we wanted.
Yeah, actually.
There's a lot of
I mean,
wood.
I couldn't.
Stone, too.
There's a lot of what?
Stone, too.
Well, but the stone can stay. That's fine. But whatever's in here.
We know there's a gas line in the basement. Start a fire in the basement, the whole thing would go up.
Sure could.
Can we get back down there? If we're quiet?
I don't think we all should. I think if anything, we send one. Maybe two.
We don't even have to. We don't even have to go through the house to do that. We know there's a window. We just find that window, break in.
True.
Bypass most of the house.
Once we're sure we have a way out of here.
We just need to get out of the house right now.
All right. Rory's going to go and set the ladder back up. If you're feeling sorry for it, I just take that axe and break the thing. I don't think it'd last too long.
Rory, roll sharp.
7.
As you're walking back to deal with the ladder down, you see something that you would not have been able to see coming up. There is a line of weird runic glyphs just drawn straight across right by the entrance.
Is it in the language of any sort of magical creature or anything like that?
Magical creature, no, but it is in a language of magic.
Any that I'd recognize or understand?
You are not fluent in this dialect, but you'd probably know enough to recognize wall, barrier, or shield. That's probably what this does. Restraint, maybe. It's hard to tell, especially like the differences between these runes and these glyphs sometimes can just be a curve here instead of an angle. It's tough.
Now, the barrier was what? Around the entrance that we came through?
Yeah, it's right in front of it. Like if here's the entrance and off of the lip is the void where the ladder is, it's like drawn right up against it.
I'm gonna look back and forth, and then I'm just gonna try and put my hand through testingly.
You can't. It's as if the air itself is pushing you back, and immediately you recognize what has happened. You can come in, but unless you know how to leave, you're not gonna.
We've got another problem. Somebody put in a one-way barrier.
We're stuck in here unless we go through the window.
I'm going to try, see if I can get through. Michael has an idea what Rory might be, so he thinks maybe it only affects him.
Doesn't work. It's a good thought, but the same thing happens. And it's not like it throws you back. It's just like, it's literally as if right when you start trying to move through it, Newtonian physics becomes your enemy. And the harder you try, the more it pushes you back, but it will just not allow you to cross that threshold.
I can push the axe handle through?
You cannot. Nothing can pass back through that threshold. There's an invisible wall.
Maybe we should see if from the window there's like a fire escape or a ladder we could use to get down.
You look at the window?
We do have a ladder.
We do. It's what, 1 story tall?
Not even. It's like 8 feet.
Well, it's a start. We could start disassembling the house and make another ladder.
If you go to the
Another
window,
after
it's a circular window, and it doesn't take long to see the same sigils drawn all across the circular windowsill.
All right. With permission, looking over at Edith, and then he opens his hand wide and looks at the unconscious person.
Fine.
Smacks him. Come on, wake up.
Wake up. Wake up now.
No movement, but as you start to get frustrated and aggressive, something just starts to feel a little bit different. It's like the air is a little charged.
Right.
Rory,
While he's doing that, I'm gonna try chopping a hole through the ceiling, the roof.
You get one really good, like, mighty swing at it, and like embeds the axe, and you pull it out. Tons of like wood installation, some chips of plaster come with you, and the damage repairs itself immediately.
I didn't think it'd be that simple.
Rose is going to look for some water or... Nope, just some water. She's just looking for water.
There's a sink.
Perfect. She is going to go fill something up with water. She'll look for like a cup or a bowl.
Just
or
like a
anything.
beaker. You find like a beaker.
Perfect.
I can try it. Sorry.
You're
ahead.
good. She'll walk back over to the gentleman, and she's just going to kind of flick some water at him and try not to be... She doesn't want to be as aggressive as Rory. She wants to wake him up, but she's trying to be gentler about the wake up.
So the first couple of times you flick, nothing happens. But you try like a third time with like a more aggressive like flick, and he doesn't react to the water, but he twitches, and the air has the same sort of charged feeling.
Mike, didn't he react when you put your crucifix by him?
No, well, he reacted when I put the crucifix by the thing in the giant beaker,
Do we have to wake up the thing in the beaker?
or release it.
Look,
I'm
I
gonna try one thing.
tried to communicate with it.
So there's wait, really quick. There's 2 beakers, right? Only one
There's
of them
two huge standing 8-foot tall cylinders filled with liquid. Yes.
one of them has the thing in it, has the fetus thing in it, and the other
Yeah,
one,
and you noticed it because it's tapping. You haven't looked in the other one.
I want to
Oh.
look in the other one. Another fetus.
No, first you're just kind of looking at it. You can't really see anything. And then you see eyes. They're red. They're glowing. And before you know it, just like a fish in an aquarium, a horrifying creature surges into view. It's difficult to describe. It's vaguely humanoid, but its nose is elongated, almost equine. Savage teeth, just fangs rippling out every which way, glowing red eyes, lean skin and bones musculature, but it, threatening as it looks, is just regarding you, floating around.
Now, this sink has a drain.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the water on. The water comes into the room and goes out the drain.
Yep.
There's an exit. It's just really, really small.
Well, that doesn't help.
It might. Look,
I thought
it'd be
might.
dangerous if I was trying to use this book here to rip a hole in somebody else's spell. Could way backfire, but it's probably a little bit easier if I'm trying to just widen an existing one.
So we take the pipes all the way down to the wherever they come out.
I think we should
Probably
leave
the
this
shitter.
room.
What?
But
I
no,
said
that's
probably the shitter.
Mike?
if we just leave the room, I think it only keeps us in this room.
It's probably set up to keep him in.
Or them
Rose,
in.
get a luck point for a unrolled for an accurate observation.
He's the battery that's powering all his research.
Mike,
Whatever
take
he's
a
doing.
luck point for doing the exact same thing.
We could try to communicate with them. They
Be my
probably,
guest. I just tried.
she's gonna go over to the one with the gross baby fetus and match the tapping on the glass.
When you do that, it stops. Almost like an acknowledgement that it knows what you're doing. and then it starts tapping back more vigorously.
Does Mike happen to know, like, Morse code? And is this a tapping pattern that we recognize?
Go through primary numbers, see if it'll repeat those.
Kind of seems like it's at least good at copying patterns. What about go
See-
ask out loud? Do you know a way out? Can you tap once if you do? Okay.
Tap twice. Oh, wait, was there a third one? All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Can you see us? Once for yes, twice for no. All right.
Okay.
But you can hear us. Okay, that's something.
Are you patient 0?
Patient 0 might not know that.
Subject 0. Are you... Okay. All right.
Is
Well,
he?
at least...
Is he?
Doesn't know. I think that's doesn't know.
That's a 1 for yes.
I think it's
There was
yes.
a 1 for yes, and then a 2 for no, and then
No.
a 1...
Stop. Do you know how to get out?
Okay. All right.
Can we get out alive?
All right. That's good news.
Do we need to let you out?
No, we're not letting it out. No.
Huh.
Why not?
Better than being killed by a giant arms and legs monster, I say.
A bubble comes out of its mouth.
Oh, it's doing that now.
Rory, you're killing me. Okay. What about that? Do we need to let that one out?
No. Oh, for sure no. They don't look friendly. Okay, do we let... all right, so this cylinder, is it like just a glass cylinder, or is it like a metal cylinder with glass panes?
It's a metal cylinder with glass panes.
Okay, is there an obvious like hatch or something on it?
There might be on the top. It's like 8 feet off the ground.
All right, I'm gonna try to climb that.
If we let you out, do you promise to get us out safely?
Unless you have a better option, Edith.
I don't.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna climb up there and I'm gonna look for a hatch.
Mike?
Yes.
There is one.
Are we making the right call?
I think so. Wait.
What?
He started tapping when he opened up the...
Should I open this hatch up on top?
No.
Wait, sorry, slower. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Okay, I'm gonna do it unless someone tells me no.
Wait. And you promise not to hurt us. Okay. I don't know. I just
Rory, do it.
Edith,
do it.
I open it.
So first, nothing seems to really happen. And then it swims up. The one arm that works, grabs, pulls itself up, flops to the floor of this attic, flops like a fish,
Oh, that's quite a drop.
splurges goo, and then speaks. Kill me.
Oh,
Please.
well, that was a thought. Yeah.
Wait, no, don't.
Wait.
What?
It seemed like he was going for it.
Mike, do you do it?
Yeah, I'm not going to second
The
guess this.
second your axe blade hits this thing's head, the young man wakes up. Just. Oh, an axe? Really? You couldn't choke me or strangle me or something? You had to stove my head in with an axe. Ah.
In fairness, we didn't know that you were entirely connected.
I'd have probably dropped you out the window.
In fairness, I don't know how to communicate with taps. It worked pretty well. Thank you. Ow.
Went well.
Okay. Good. We're doing great.
How'd
I'm
you
gonna
get
go
in here?
We ran. How do we get out?
What? Why did you run?
Because there's a thing downstairs.
Excuse
Yeah.
me?
There's a whole bunch of really bad things downstairs you want to avoid.
We woke up in
We're
much
here
the
to save
same
you.
state you did.
Excuse me? You, axe guy. Say that again?
There are a whole bunch of really bad things downstairs you want to avoid. Did you know you were upstairs, or did you think
That's
you
not
were in
good.
the basement?
That's not good.
I'm gonna walk over to the barrier.
You mean
See if it's still up.
what happened? Did they keep killing each other? Like who won? Who won?
Apparently they all did by losing. I think when they.
Did the
whenever-
loyalists win or did they string them up?
Oh my god.
What year do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't. Year?
The
Proper
loyalists.
nouns ain't too
Who's
useful right
president?
now.
Huh?
Who's president?
What's a president?
Oh
Okay.
my
Alright.
bloody god. All
Who's
right.
king?
I know that one.
What? The old man is the king. The old man in the old man in the place with the fog. He says he's the king.
Oh, we know him.
Oh.
He sent
Well-
us to find you.
Wait, no. I think he's talking about probably a different one because the other one said he couldn't talk to him.
No,
For many eons.
I've
He's
never-
an old man.
I've never spoken to him. I just saw him out there always watching me. He'd just
Oh.
shout, but nothing would come out.
All right. All right.
Is the barrier still up? I'm gonna walk over towards the barrier. Is it still up?
It's still up. You guys didn't take that down? What are you doing?
We don't know how to take it down. I could try and
Give me a second. And he stands up, walks over, rolls his little raggedy clothes up, and his left hand, the skin shatters as if it's glass with pitch black underneath, as if his hand, his skin, the fabric of reality around it were just glass, just shatters. And he plunges his hand forward. You hear a pop. You feel recoil, and the runes sketched before literally sizzle, burn off. There. Now you can leave. Now we can leave. We should leave, but I need to know something before we leave. What are you talking about? I need to know who won. Did they win or did he win? Who's down there?
You know what?
Oh.
I think that nobody won. Everybody lost because everything down there is dead, nearly dead, or in a process of repeatedly
The
dying.
war isn't over yet.
You, the girl who figured out the taps.
Yeah.
What does she mean by almost dead? You're clear-headed, you're quiet. What did she mean by almost dead?
Well, no, she was right. There's there's a horrifying giant monster made up of skin and bones, and then there's a bunch of dead people fighting it.
Dead people fighting it? How?
Corpses, and they stood up and started fighting it. I don't know. We were running.
How are they?
With
How are they fighting?
bone fragments sticking out of their bodies like
They just kept
swords.
Anything
throwing
else?
each other. It was
They can
horrible.
do anything else other than
One of
stab?
them blew fire.
Oh, well, the big one might
Did the
get
one-
into it.
The fire one. Did the fire one? What happened? How did it die?
We blew it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
What do you mean?
It's out, and we're in deep trouble.
What?
Let's get out of the house.
Let's leave then.
Do you know why you're here?
To save you. We already said that.
No,
No,
why
that
you're
was-
here. Why you're here. Thank you for saving me.
We just
Why
need
you're-
to leave.
What? How did you get here?
We
We
don't
don't know.
Abducted.
You don't know. I can work with that.
Mike knows Aid's brother's name, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
Jason.
I believe Jason brought us here. Same way he brought you here.
How are you here? What happened to you?
The king brought us back.
Oh. Oh, well, that's interesting. All right, listen close. We've probably not got a great chance at this, but you're all we've got. I'm imagining there are people out there, right, beyond that water.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a whole city.
If anything from here gets back there, that's all gone. Those things down there, they're not the bad thing. It's what's in their blood. It's what came from me. The black mage did something, and I was sick, and then I was not sick, but these things started growing, and the more damage he did to them, the more he dissected them, the more he played with the ones who were sick, the more they changed. They mirrored the harm that was dealt to them. When he burned them, they could use fire. When he cut them up, their bones turned to weapons. When he crushed them, their strength amplified exponentially.
Okay, yeah, we figured that. So we were going to burn this place down after you
Yeah.
got us
Oh,
out.
that sounds worse
They'll
now. That sounds
get
worse
up.
now.
And they'll get up and breathe fire if what you articulated to me is correct.
So then what do we do?
We kill them,
How?
keep them still, and I kill them. And he
And what do
shows
you
you his
mean by
hand
keep
again.
them still?
Hmm?
What do you mean by keep them still? You want us to hold them down?
Any one of you good in a fight?
I'm all right.
Mike.
Well,
Rory, probably.
Could be better.
see, I don't happen to know why, but this left hand of mine, when I touch things with it, bad things happen to the things I touch. So my thought is, bad things, by the way, that experiments to that effect did not trigger any of the mutations. So we do the violence, I do the violence, and we go stop anyone from getting off this island. Who woke you up? You said the king woke you up, but Jason brought you here.
Yeah, I think Jason's gone.
I don't know, Jason.
How can he?
I
He's
don't
got to
know
still
Jason,
be
but
here.
that guy
There's
looks like
one
him.
boathouse. He's not going to abandon all his research, right? Oh God.
He
Can't have
said
gone.
something saying that he didn't need any further subjects. His research was complete.
Yeah,
That's
we
not
were the last batch, is what he told us.
You don't remember getting here?
No,
When you woke up, could you move?
no.
Not for a bit.
You're cured.
We died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the old man sent you back.
Aye.
That's a riddle we'll have to puzzle over some other time. What matters now is we figure out how to stop anything from getting off the island. We try to catch him before he gets off the island. And I mean, he probably kills us all, but we have to try. We have to try. We have to lock all this down. I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I'm so sorry you didn't survive what was done to you. I'm really glad you came back. Thank you for waking me up. We can't let any of this get out of here.
If there's only one boathouse, why don't we destroy it and all the boats in it?
What are we
We
going to do?
have to get off,
We'd still like to go home.
especially if we're cured.
How did you die?
We're not
Painfully.
sure.
There was a big, scary monster that was borderline indescribable. And I think we may have been eaten.
But look at you. You're here. You're fine. So you
Aye.
came back intact
Aye.
from that place.
Uh-huh.
Aye.
So that place is how we get back.
What?
We have to go back down to the basement.
Oh.
Wait, no, we have to die again?
There's got to be another way. We're in one of the most powerfully magical, expansive knowledge stored places I can even fathom of.
There's a lot of books.
There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. You had to have learned something while you were there. I had to have learned something while we were there. But you emerged from that place intact, restored. That means you weren't there just in spirit. You were there. It means it can be traversed. That's how we get out.
Okay.
So
Okay.
And I don't mean to rush anybody, but and he jerks his finger over to the window where it's a little brighter considering the sun has gone down than you'd expect. We probably want to hurry.
I pick up a ladder. Well, let's move then.
And I'm going to need y'all to know what's coming. Look out there and don't panic. Just stay with me.
look out the window?
Yeah.
Probably gonna panic, but it'll be
Bro, it's fine. Remember
What
your
do I see out the window?
Hundreds of shambling corpses marching towards the house. Some at different speeds, some with horrifying, weird anatomical weapons coming with a purpose. See, when you woke me up, you woke them all up, and we don't have a lot of time. I'm sorry.
Well, wouldn't you know if that ain't about the third most horrifying thing I've seen today?
And fade to black on part 1 of the pilot.
So everybody come back next week.
yeah.
Cliffhanger.
we had a pretty good crowd out there. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Next
I'm
week, you might get to see us roll up new
so
characters.
Yeah, I mean, very well. This is a 2-part pilot. We're going to move to a lot more sort of one-shot plots going forward, but I wanted a little extra time to put them through this one because I'm kind of proud of it. So
Been great
we will
so far.
see you next time for part 2, and we are pretty much right to 11 and hit that 3-hour mark I promised. So thanks, folks.
We love you. We will see you guys next week. Watch the socials and yeah.
Next Tuesday at 8. We'll see you.
We'll see us next time for the Horror Beyond Sight Part 2.
Bye everybody. Good
Have
night.
a good night.